Oh, we're live! Hello! Hello, everybody. It's that guy that does the thing. You remember? I think it's got something to do with dragons? Maybe a few dungeons? I'm not sure. Anyway, who wants to remind me? I think I give inspiration to people that remember things.
I think you just give us inspiration for being here, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Alright, that's an inspiration for Capo.
God bless.
We went to the vending machine.
Vending machines, they're a thing? Yeah, it's an inspiration for Oscar.
I wasn't even there.
Is this like a future inspiration for the fact that we're going to be in combat?
I guess we're going to be in combat this session. That's an inspiration for Gershaw.
Sounding like we won't be in combat very long.
I got a present for Solgra. I made it with my own hands.
I also got a present for Solgra.
Yeah,
I made it with the vending machine's hands.
Solgra was like birthday girl last week.
I now have a shiny axe and a shiny mouse.
Can I fill everyone in on what I did, like in absentia?
In 1 second. That's an inspiration for M for getting a present, an inspiration for Cactus for getting a present, and an inspiration for Solgra for receiving a present.
Can I get two inspiration because I received 2 presents?
No, just 1 inspiration. And Fanny Boss, you're here. I think that's deserving of an inspiration.
You get inspiration.
Yeah.
You get inspiration. You all get inspiration. Oh, I want to point out that I also went through Gersha's backpack, and I might have taken something.
I forgot about that.
Put something. You were asleep.
Actually, for that one, for actually going through his pack and reminding me that you did so, that's a Cardic.
Oh my god!
Once again, crime is rewarded. Shake my head.
Make a note of that.
What about the innocent victim?
I see no victim here.
Only winners. I'm so happy right now.
Keep doing that, hold on, do that. Come on, do the screenshot. Thank you.
However, some stuff that didn't actually happen on cam. Oscar, would you like to inform us what happened in the interim hours of the long rest that was taken?
Yeah. So, none of you really noticed. I kind of slinked off to a corner, and I ordered from the vending machine an entire list of things, which I will now proceed to read to you. A fuck ton of sand, some assorted small wooden polyhedral shapes.
Excuse me.
Calligrapher's supplies, because I put mine in the thing and made the duck game. A book on contemporary Edis architecture with lots of pictures. A nice cushion for my butt. And some small, simple figurines that I later remembered were called meeple. And I laid them all out. I laid them all out in a pleasing fashion, a way that was pleasing to me, and I built some beautiful structures. I built a city, and yes, I also learned the can I say that? I learned the code for turning off the mouse.
You did, but maybe don't tell them the code on the stream.
I won't tell them the code.
No.
But
Oscar knows that now.
I turned off the mouse, but you don't know that because I did it on my way out. Said the code word. Yep.
I don't actually remember a mouse.
The cleaning mouse.
The mouse.
Cleaning mouse.
M4.
Oh, right.
More
Okay.
inside.
Anymore.
Yeah. And yeah, so I cast message to Sharid, and I never specified what I said. But what I said to Sharid is I can't remember what I said to Sharid. Oh, it was important. Oh, can I have an inspiration to help me remember?
You can message Sharid over Discord when you remember.
Okay. Okay.
Question: what did you get for your butt? I missed the word before. You got a nice
A cushion.
cushion. Okay, okay. And then you laid the ball with the
untoward.
cushion. Okay, okay. Got it. Thanks.
Unfortunately, nothing more interesting or funny.
That's fine. A cushion is always nice.
A cushion is always nice for my butt.
And now for a Cardic experience. So now we're getting real. Who wants to tell me what actually happened immediately before we ended the last session? Who wants to get everyone up to speed for this particular beginning? Go on then, Gershon.
So, we were finding a vent system. We just got onto like this new floor. We're exploring it. Found some nice computers or screens with weird light thingies on it and some nice storage bits. And started crawling through vents, which were of adequate size, and split up in the vents, like the smart people we are. Then, after finding some dead ends in said vents, we found a room. Well, I found a room and I jumped into it, and I thought it was intriguing because there was a big old ball in it, I think, made of light. So what I decided to do was yell into the vents where everyone was to tell them to get here. And in the process of that, how do I say it? There's a lot of wrist noises. So we're dealing with some risky business tonight, is what I assume.
Is it too late to not show up?
Oh.
And also, thank you, Martaus, for encouraging my voice. I like it. And that's how
Ban, where are the mods?
Yeah.
We're all mods.
Don't worry, I will protect you, Martaus. I'll make sure you're not banned. Or unbanned. That is.
Yes, it's unrelated, kind of related to D&D, but unrelated. My mom was sad that I was leaving last night, so she sat down to watch Critical Role with me, and she was like, but do you guys have all, like, the miniatures and things like they have in combat and stuff? So I was like, kinda, so I showed her the map, and she was wondering, can you move your token and things? And so I showed her, and then I was like, I can also write in the map, and so I wrote hi in the map. That's a message from my mom.
That's it. I was wondering before we started where that bit of graffiti came
Yeah, that
from.
happened last night when no one was here.
Is my mic any better?
Yeah.
Sounding fine,
That's
yeah.
good.
Nice. I'm now using the actual mic. I realized I hadn't switched to it.
That'll be what was going on then.
Pro strimmer who hasn't strimmed in like 6 months.
There we go. It's been a while, so I had to go find the right sound effects. But Gershon is right. He did shout into the vents, and now there is a whole lot of activity that can be heard throughout the vents. But that will be a Cardic inspiration for Gershon for getting his backup speed. And also, once we switch over to the Roll20 screen, people will be able to see and remember that Caporius did in fact set up an alarm.
I did.
Follow, like, and subscribe.
I didn't write that. I just drew the bell.
Make sure you get the bell on. Wait, wrong platform.
Smash that bell!
For the YouTube algorithm.
That's fine. Once this episode gets uploaded to YouTube, that'll make sense.
I mean, all of the Ebon episodes so far that have been on stream can be found on the Geeks Codex YouTube channel. So, please go check them out.
Apart from, I think it only goes up to episode 36 on YouTube right now, but I think 36 is the last VOD that's available. So it is a continuous thing.
Like, this whole section of the stream has been the bit before the YouTuber says, and without any further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's jump right into it.
Let's jump right into it.
Without any further ado, check out my Patreon, my Insta.
I gotta start learning from Philly Do. I gotta start referring to everyone as beautiful bastards and telling you that I'll punch you in the throat. That apparently is what the algorithm enjoys. Anyway, let's actually do this. So we've got Roll20 open. You guys, there is new graffiti that I've just spotted that wasn't there before the stream, other than the high.
That wasn't my mum.
Shareed is dreaming of berries from the looks of things. Oh, and Oscar, you were not present when we were exploring the section, so if you would like to throw your icon wherever you want to be within this room.
Oh, yes,
that's
hang on a moment.
Gersha. You look like that?
It's not loading for me, hang on.
Yes, that's what I look like.
You're not an actual
I'll
7?
throw one in for you. Here you go.
It's not like
Yeah, I do.
it's not like
Here I am.
as a party we have been, you know, adventuring for some time. I will not take offence. It is fine.
It's not like his the art of Gersha is in every like break screen that we have as well.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Yeah.
He looks
Yeah,
different
I
now.
just never
That's
saw
true,
it. Okay. Wait, Gersha's in the art?
I think
one
M
of
might
those
be even
episodes.
more face blind than the Eric Cochrans.
Perception 0.
The only reason that M knows who you are all is because you've all been together such a long amount of time. You haven't split into different groups, so she just assumes that male
There's a
human
Gersha
must
somewhere
be
in the
Gersha.
Watch me walking out of a tavern with 6 different people and be like, so where are we going? Gersha! Okay. Sorry, I got confused. That was different.
Alright, so you guys are in this, what looks like a control room in the Cold Forge on this particular level, which I believe is level 10. I can't remember if I forgot to label. Yes, there we go. So as you enter this particular room, the lights begin to illuminate this rather fancy-looking sort of control room / office. There is a hologram being emitted towards the southern end of this room. Fanny Boss and Caporius are still in the ventilation ducts for now, and Caporius, you've just finished setting up your alarm. The entire party can hear distant sounds of wrist. It doesn't sound like they're immediately close to you, but you get the sense that they're getting closer.
Yeah, can we tell which direction they're from, roughly?
Every direction.
Haha, okay, cool, that's fine.
So, has anyone got any plans? Sorry for yelling earlier, by the way. I thought might get your attention.
Oh, you sure did.
Yeah, but
Got all of our attentions.
I think my most immediate plan is sticking a sock in your gob.
Please don't. I don't like the taste of socks.
Hang on, you don't like the taste of socks?
You do like the taste of socks?
Have you tried socks?
I do not like socks. No.
How do you know you don't like the taste of them if you haven't tried them?
Well, I've had a sock shoved in my gob before. It's not. I didn't want to ingest it. It's just happened to be on my tongue at the time, and it tasted gross.
It shan't ask
I
anymore.
feel like we have more important things to worry about now than the taste of socks.
Anyway, what's that giant blue ball floating in the bottom of the room? That'd be a bit more up the alley of mystery, isn't it? You know. Oh, we're gonna die.
21 days and the first thing we do is talk about eating socks.
I mean, Penny Boys, it doesn't feel like it's been 21 days. It feels like it's been about a few minutes since I last saw you, but
You know?
You're just gonna tap on the dwarf's shoulders and be like, "Oi, do you mind if I get past?"
Do you mind?
Monsters and all, I'd like to be in the room.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find a corner to hyperventilate really quickly.
okay, Shreed. Buddy. You okay?
The berries. I lost the berries.
Okay, look away, everybody. I can make a good berry now, too.
No, you don't understand. Have you... Look, I'm a doctor, right? And I know doctor things. But have you heard of Beremia nervosa?
No, I have not. I would like to be educated on that further, but I feel like maybe another time.
As the two of you are
keep sitting
talking, a small beam of light protrudes from the wall nearest to Sharid and begins to scan him. On the large display in the center of the room, those of you looking at it can see that there is now a silhouette displayed, looking very similar to a generic Arakakra. And Corporius, you'll be able to read the words as they are written in Asgardian at this point. The readout says, subject stress levels exceeding regular. Recommend...
Fucking mood.
Recommend sedative.
I'm gonna hand him a good berry and say, here, you're not yourself when you're hungry. Have a snack.
I eat the good berry and just like start like... it's like start hyperventilating in the corner.
I don't know what to do about this. I'm gonna give him another good berry.
I just keep eating them. Like
I tap him on the shoulder.
I have a shoulder. I used to be a berry.
But I thought you used to be a crocodile.
No, but before that I was a berry. I was a berry with a crocodile on top.
You know what? You were a berry, and I was 7, but we gotta get past that. We gotta embrace our new selves.
I can't. How are you so calm?
Because I have no other choice.
While all this is going on, I'd like to look at the consoles closest to me, the ones on the wall.
Alright. As you look at the consoles, initially they are using glyphs that you don't understand. You believe it to be the same Asgardian language that Corporius has had some look in translating. Although, as you start to sort of look at more and more of them, attempts to interact, you know, maybe just pushing the odd button here and there just to see if you can make it do anything, it does eventually alter itself to read out in common, and you can now understand the screens. You can understand the text being written. They are now in a language that is known to you, but the concepts for which they are trying to convey don't really register with you. Lots of numbers attached to what look like room numbers. You're not sure what any of the readouts mean. It takes you a while as you look through the different screens. All of them seem to be linked to something. You just can't quite ascertain what. The main screen in the center of the room appears to be the one that is showing Sharid's current status, but has a lot of other info scattered about on it at any given moment. There's a lot of screen space for it there. Some of it begins to move sort of automatically onto the other screens as you sort of send your attention to different places. It tries to like show you things as if it was trying to predict what you were after. Sometimes missing the mark. You get a lot of information that means nothing to you. One of the last things that pops out to you is the status of Subject 6, as the text appears entirely in a bold red print, simply stating Subject 6, containment failure, subject whereabouts unknown. As you spend more time looking at this stuff, eventually you do find that there are options for security clearance. and for allowing doors to be opened and closed. Unfortunately, what looks like there should have been a floor map of this entire area looks to be corrupted and incomplete. You can only really see the corridor that you've taken and this room. There appears to be several doors on the list, but they're not showing up, or at least accurately showing up, where they should be in relation to you in this room. But they are listed as level 1 through level 3 security clearance. And it does give you the option if you would like to open level 1 security doors.
Are there any doors in this room?
There's a door. Sorry, I might need to make this more obvious, but if I just freehand this right here, from here to here is a door.
Oh,
It is
cool.
sealed closed. It looks completely flush with the wall and airtight. There is a small blinking red light sort of halfway down the wall on the left-hand side of the door.
Cool. I turn around to the rest of the group and I'm just gonna shout, like... Shall I press this button or shall I let Washarid have his panic attack first?
Maybe give him a moment. Also, what does the button do?
It says something about level 1 security clearance.
Oh,
I'm assuming it'll open us doors, but
right.
the more,
That-
like, things that we can access...
The more
It
things can
appears-
access us.
Exactly.
It's one way to put it.
Yeah. Let's take a moment. This room seems to
Kershaw,
be
you're
relatively...
muted.
I was just saying, as long as you don't shove a sock in my mouth, it's okay.
Oh god, we've got another one.
Em?
What am I standing in front of? It's red.
Right, so over where you are stood now, you have made your way to the southern end of this room, and there is a giant sort of glowing orb surrounded by sort of arcane-looking runes. Some of it appears to match the language of the Asgardians that you might have seen on some of the screens. Some of it is completely unfamiliar to you and looks maybe like it's more surprisingly elvish in origin. This is something that you'd probably be more likely to find in the Feywild, although you're quite averse with, you're quite used to the Feywild and quite knowledgeable, and you step right through this orb, and it doesn't affect you in any way. Nothing happens. You just sort of step through it towards the wall, and you can kind of summarize that this is just being projected. It's just a floating image in the air, although it is moving. The thing that you're currently stood in front of that protrudes from the wall, it actually looks as if it's the source of the light that is being emitted. It looks to be some sort of projector.
Okay, it's like an hologram thing.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I wanna call Solgra. I'm like, Solgra! Look! And I walk through. And I'm like, Solgra! And I go through again. And then I thumbs up.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way down there.
You can do it too. It hurts a bit, but you need to be strong.
The projection is constantly rotating. The inner orb seems to be brightest and fixed in place. There is sort of like a translucent orb floating around and spinning slowly. And then there's a ring, 2 or 3 rings actually of varying sizes that are rotating in different speeds and directions around this orb. Each of them has different kinds of runes and glyphs on each ring, but each ring is consistent with itself. They are each the same alphabet to each other.
Do I recognize any of the letters or anything?
You recognize the outermost ring of glyphs. They appear to be, as best you know, something that you've seen from the Feywild. It is not something you're very familiar with. You don't have a great proficiency with these runes, but you have seen them before. You know that they're used in various magic rituals. Some of them can be quite powerful, The sequence of 7 or 8 of these glyphs is something that you actually can't help but remember. You've seen this exact sequence before. This would lead you to believe that this has something to do with teleportation or portals.
Okay.
And I'll message you specifically about why you know that.
I will tell Solgra about this because she's standing next to me. Other people can wait.
I'm gonna look back at Em and be like, so this is some weird elven shit, and I'm just gonna kind of put my hand close to it, but not touch it. Like,
It doesn't react in any way.
It's like portal stuff. Put the hand through.
very, very slowly, like, move my hand into it.
See? This was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success.
I start sadly sobbing in the corner. I know that song.
I don't know why I expected anything different.
And we're back.
How peaceful.
I missed you guys.
So, guys, did you figure out what that big thing is? It kind of looks like a potato, but it's rotating. Some would say it's a rotato.
M says it has something maybe to do with teleportation.
So it's a teleporty rotato.
Teleportato.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
what people
This
use
is why you're the doctor.
It's what people use to go from one place to another.
How?
Like the
Can I-
things that fetus uses.
Can I go up to it and take out my I don't know what the tablet thing, the resizable teleporty tablet, and
Yes,
see if
yes,
there's
you can.
anything familiar?
Roll a Arcana check for me.
I'll just take a seat in this chair and chill a bit.
While he's rolling that, Caporius, you sit down in this chair, and if you had any back problems of any variety, of any kind, even small minor issues, they are now fixed.
Ooh.
This is maybe the
Whatever?
first ever ergonomic chair that you've come across in your entire existence.
Oh. Is it attached to the floor?
Yes.
How well?
Like, bolted down.
I mean,
Well,
when I retire and go
down.
back to Karar, I'm gonna need a throne that is ergonomically viable.
I mean,
Just
you now have
saying.
experience. You've seen its design. You could maybe recreate this later.
I'm gonna start pulling out the chair until we leave the room.
What are we getting? So an 18, cool. So looking at the, it's the cartouche that you have, isn't it?
I mean, I haven't been to the doctors recently, but I assume so.
Yes. Yeah, I believe you were carrying the part of the cartouche at least, a fragment of it. So you can see on this that the symbols and glyphs on all 4 of the rings, none of them stand out as a match. Although the innermost ring, the way that the symbols are sort of joined up and created, the specific sort of aesthetic to them, appears to match the iconography that's on the cartouche. They appear linked in some way. You can tell that they're from the same source, but none of the symbols on what you have match up with what's on this.
Okay, I'm gonna relay that over. Yep, making a note here. Huge success.
But we don't know how it works. So
Nope.
that doesn't seem very successful to me.
But this is a triumph.
It's hard to
Overstate
understate
myself.
my satisfaction.
The Cold Forge does what it can. No, it does what it should, because it can.
There's no point crying over every mistake.
Forrest, did you say you cast something in the vents to keep an eye on things?
What? Sorry, what?
I
Give me hands.
Yeah, fine. I'll come give you a hand. Right, I'll get this side. You get that side. All right. To me.
What did you ask?
Did you cast a thing in the vents just in case?
Yeah, I casted a cheeky bell. That's right.
I think I just heard Codex.
Yeah, very
But
quiet.
very
Yeah, after I was
quietly.
turn codex up, it was a continuation of the joke. It was
Data unavailable.
Oh, okay.
That's fine, panic over.
Thanks, voice of the sky.
So this
Helpful
big
as
thing,
always.
right? I think it's a trick to make us believe that we can go places, but we actually cannot. Because if you walk through it, you just end. Well, you technically go to places because you end on the other side. So yeah, it's a thing to go places. Specifically to the other side from where you walk. It's very powerful magic.
It doesn't look very magic-y though. I feel like the magic that I've seen before is quite organic compared to this. This feels wrong.
I mean, this comes from this wall behind me. Eh? There's a light thing. I think that's the magic that makes the big rotator ball.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right.
Why does this remind me of Antechamber? Out of character.
I was gonna say, what's antechamber?
It just reminds me of the freaking rotating cubes.
Briggy,
yeah.
could I use mold earth to try and make a replica of this thing?
You could if you had access to any earth.
How
I have some sand!
dirty? Oh yes. Could I try?
I give Sharid some sand.
Yes.
How much sand are you using? Just to figure out the size. How big are you making this?
I'll make like a handheld, like a dirt ball, but like this thing.
All right, yeah. So casting the shape earth on the sand, you make a identical replica that is like palm-sized, dirt ball-sized. It is not moving, however. It is a completely static model. It looks
Okay.
accurate to like a 1 to 100 scale. Has all the runes and everything. Nothing happens, but it looks cool.
All right.
It's very
And I'll
fancy
can
looking
I like
dirt
double check? Can I double check all the runes are like accurate and like they look like the ones that I'm seeing floating around?
It's as accurate as you can make it. Yeah, you can't really
Okay.
see any differences. But it does
Cool, I'm
just
gonna-
like a model of what you're seeing as a hologram right now.
Okay. I'm gonna keep that safe. Actually, I'm gonna ask Oscar for another. I'm gonna give Oscar this one and then make another one, just so there's like double protection.
Thank you.
I want to know more about this, so I'm gonna see if I can get any information from the center console.
Looking at the center console, the silhouette of Sharid has vanished now, as it is no longer deeming him an immediate emotional concern. It now just chooses to display for you a 3D rendition of the hologram that you can see to your left now, with a whole host of ancient Asgardian text alongside it. Although the language used at the very top to title this appears in a very old dialect of Common. It's not a modern usage, but you can kind of pull together enough of what this means just from context. And it reads Projectus Antiqua Stella Portis.
I'm gonna shout Corporeus over.
What?
Get off the fucking chair. I need you to read this.
Corporius, roll a strength check for me.
I'm technically assisting them, so does he get
One
advantage?
moment, please.
Does
Your
he get
strength or...
anything for the,
No, just a straight up strength check.
Does he get
I'm imagining it'd be a disadvantage without assistance.
No, just a bare strength check. What we got?
Natural 20.
Wow.
All right, so as you turn to look back at Solgra as you're pulling at this chair, you actually feel it lurch, and the two welded bolts at the very front of it, the furthest from you, have now sheared and lifted from the ground. The chair is still attached to the ground, as you haven't been able to pull the entire base away, but it is now slightly tilted, and you look at it and feel as if it's going to be a lot less comfortable to sit on now.
I'll come back to that in a moment. I'll go over to Solgra first.
When you get here, I'm just going to turn around and say, I will give you a hand, like, trying to wrench that out. I don't know why you want it, but...
It's
like,
comfy.
Just
Thank you.
Can you please read this?
Of course. What am I reading? Yes, I'll try to read the first thing in front of me.
Roll a perception check.
I'm decent at that.
Never before have I wanted a natural one to appear so bad.
Nope, there's nothing written in front of me. Oh,
14.
14. So you immediately, the first thing that's written in front of you, you can't help but actually see the project notes for this hologram, and you also see that it does say Projectus Antiqua Stellaris Portis. Again, that has not changed, but the rest of it you can read from the ancient Asgardian text. Denotes this to be a projection of a future project that is housed deeper in the Cold Forge. It's a collection of multiple magics and technologies from different civilizations that are all being studied, or at least acquired in part, by those that inhabited the Cold Forge. Its purpose, as far as you can tell, appears to be a way of transporting matter long distances instantaneously, similar to a teleportation spell, or to maybe one of the many portals or gates that you have seen in the past from different realms of magic and different magical schools. This one, though, it's highlighted through its text that this is being made as a way to allow non-magical creatures and staff members, presumably of the Cold Forge, to quickly and instantaneously move supplies, goods, crates, whatever they need, over presumably long distances. It doesn't tell you the range. There is no estimated range on something like this. You're not even sure if this project ever came to fruition, or has been made, or is even partially built. Just that this seems to have been, at some point, the focus of whoever was last using this room.
Yeah. So, would it be fair to assume that this display could be turned into other things? I could display other things with it.
You believe so, yes.
So this is not actually like a portal. It is just.
It's simply a
glow
hologram of a
shit.
proposed portal.
Can I search for a
No, just
3D
like
map of
hologram.
sorts?
You search for a 3D map and you find a map of this this floor of the Cold Forge. However, when you attempt to make it display through the projector, you get only the initial corridor that you walk through and this room. The rest of the map, some of it makes some sense. You can kind of make out walls and some corridors, but overall it's flickering, it's broken, a lot of it's not joined up properly. It looks very corrupted.
Okay.
It looks like the one that I saw on the.
Yeah, only this has a slightly more detail in it. Just enough for you to gather that beyond the door to this room that you're currently in, as opposed to the vent, there is a left-hand turn down a corner, followed by another left-hand turn, which will take you to what you can assume. You can't see them on the map. They kind of flicker in and out too quickly for you to confirm it, but just through what you've seen before, you assume that there's 3 more chambers similar to the 3 that you saw on the way in.
can I bring up, like, I'm gonna ask this to Caporus. It's like, is there any way of bringing up, like, a glowy replica of Subject 6 at all? Just so we know what it looks like.
I search for Subject 6, that's a good idea.
You can actually, give me a second, because I was gonna, once I remember how to use Roll20, it's been a while, I was gonna use a little bit of the Reveal Areas tool, and just drop tiny bits, Reveal Area, come on, just little bits of map for you to get an impression. just through broken holographic mapping.
Knowledge.
There you go. Little bits and pieces for you there.
Thanks. That's excellent.
We need to get some sort of an idea of.
I
Oh,
like
sorry.
the
There is one
blood
thing that does show up on the
thing.
map. Oh, sorry to interrupt, Jim. Just you can see the elevator to the next floor.
We can.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Also, I didn't say anything remarkable. I like the very tiny reveal that has just blood in it. That's my favorite. It's like a quarter of a square. It's just blood.
There's so
I love
much. There's so much all over the map. I was like, which one do I reveal?
that. Yeah.
But you should now also be able to see that there's a big old elevator, similar to the one that you entered, on the map as well.
Yeah.
So you want to see Subject 6, Specimen 6, appearing on the holographic projector, do you?
That's a
Yes.
goal.
That I can do. Is that the right size? I believe so.
Turn the camera for a sec, I'm still here though.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
It's
I get my
okay.
crossbow out and I'm like, ah!
It's okay. It's not real.
So for a
Yes.
moment, a large, mutated-looking Riss appears on screen. Oh, on screen, sorry, as a holographic projection in the center of the room now. You're not sure if this is to scale or not. You can clearly see emblazoned on its dome at the front a number 6. Strangely enough, it's using the common numeral for the number. And the creature, known as Specimen 6, also appears to have slightly different anatomy, I suppose. You can see from the face that it's got what seems to be a different sort of jaw that opens both vertically and horizontally. The shading of this creature, you can't quite tell if it's the holographic projector or if it's actually true to the specimen. Appears to be somewhat lighter in composition than the wrist that you've dealt with so far, which have been entirely this pitch black ebony color. This has got more of a mottled brown and yellows in with the pieces of black carapace.
In
I look at it and
character,
say, it looks like Syl. I will call it Slombo.
God. In character, I've got absolutely no idea what this other creature it's bred with. Out of character, I know full well what it is.
Hey, just because I use it as a base does not mean that it's going to match the theme of what I took inspiration from. It was just too cool of an image to pass up. As you reach out to touch the hologram, your hand goes right through it. Although, as you make contact with it, maybe as if you've activated another function of the projector, it does move. It's no longer a static image, but it now mimics walking, although it's walking in place. It sort of seems hunched over and skulking. You're not sure if this is sort of theoretical movement or if this is some sort of recording. But it is. You are now getting a chance to see it in full motion as it moves and sort of searches around and tilts its head.
Am I getting like images in my head of the T-Rex from the PS1 demos?
Not what I was going for, but works.
I wanna walk through it, go to the other side, and say, "Good thing I didn't shoot," and go back to the other side. Through it.
Chuckles nervously.
That's a pretty big risk. We fought ones like that size before. That's okay. That's not a problem.
This one looks angrier.
But do we actually know it's that size? You know, if
Wait.
this is a hologram.
Well, I mean, like, it's the glowy magic-y picture is as good as I guess we're gonna get. If it's bigger, it's bigger.
Specimen 6 as a hologram, it rears back and sort of opens its jaws in what looks like a roar, just as part of its sort of animation cycle.
Briggy,
Yeah?
when I went into the room where I found the not Warhammer, the mall for Solgar, right? That there was Validus Iribus.
Validus
that was his
Erebus,
name.
yes.
Yes. Was he hurt from the race? No, from Subject 6. No, he just locked himself in the room.
He did look as if he'd been injured, it just wasn't fatal.
Okay, but do I recall any like size of scratches or something that I can compare to this one?
Again, you don't know if the hologram is to scale, if it is 1-to-1. But you could make an assumption that because of the wound that Validus had sustained, if not this particular specimen, it would have been definitely a wrist injury, as the puncture looked about the right size to be created by the tail, like the tail spike of a wrist.
Okay. But the injury that I saw in that room, a sort of like size of, or does it look like?
It looked only marginally
In
bigger
size?
than it would have been from any of the other risks that you've encountered so far. You're already aware that the blade at the end of the wrist tail is pretty large and can do some pretty nasty damage.
Okay, but I have no way of saying if this is up to scale based on the wounds that I saw in that room.
No. The current image that you're seeing is about the size of all the risks that you have seen before.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not far off that size, so you think it could be, but you're not 100%
Never
certain.
mind. Never mind then.
Corporeus, is there any other information there? On the
Is there
screen?
any other information there, Dungeon Master?
So the information has changed over now regarding Specimen 6. You are seeing a lot of redactions. Do a investigation check for me.
$19.
You have become really quite proficient at dealing with these interfaces created by the Asgardians, and you've learned a few tricks, especially while you were messing with the Miracle Murder Machine. You're gonna, you put on your hacking gloves, your fingerless hacking gloves, and put the shades down, and you get to work, and you're able to recover recent entries that had been deleted. What you're able to tell from these bits and pieces of information is that at some point immediately after the incident that caused Specimen 6 to get loose, someone in the Cold Forge had attempted to erase all evidence of not only themselves, but of the incident and what was going on. You're only able to recover snippets of information. You know that this specimen had been the most complete of their attempt to meld wrist DNA with another creature. And you also can tell from some of the logs the mention of a person who was involved in making this all come to fruition. The name itself, the name itself has been very well hidden and removed. you can't tell exactly who it's meant to be from the text. You can infer from what you've learned so far that the name most likely would have been Domaris. But unfortunately, you can't confirm that through this console because the name is pretty well hidden. You find it interesting that as you search through the text, looking for anything that seems like a proper name, especially as you've gotten used to the strange way that the Asgardians, especially the older generations of Asgardians, name themselves, you start to pick out bits and pieces that aren't literal, but are actually meant as names for people. But at one point, you do come across an actual name in common. That name is Gershaw.
What? would you mind?
Can I click on it?
It doesn't lead you anywhere. It's not an actual link to anything, but it is mentioned in redacted entries, although usually without context. It appears that whoever did their best at removing these didn't consider that name important enough to hide.
As much as I'd like to know more about why the fuck Gershaw's name's in here, can we find out anything about if it's escaped? Can we figure out anything about maybe if it has any particular weaknesses, if it what kind of damage it does, that kind of thing? Kind of like, do they have that written down? I feel like that'd be something that they would have written down.
Gersha.
No, Gersh.
I keep hearing my name being spoken. What's going on?
Give me an investigation check.
I can't read it.
No, but on top of, like, assisting Corporeus, maybe noting to him, roll an investigation check. Essentially, you're rolling to see if I get to give you anything off of
Okay.
the stat block.
I was just kind of like, I can't read. Oh, wait. Seven.
Alright, so you don't really convey what you're after really well to Corporeus as he's gathering all this information. And so the best that Corporeus really gives you, as he's kind of distracted by the more intricate matter of these entries being removed and trying to restore things, the best that Corporeus can tell you is that it looks as if Specimen 6 itself is functionally similar to every risk that you've fought thus far. No mention in any of the entries that you've recovered of anything to do with, you know, mutations that allow for resistances or extra powers. You do find Corporeus, again, you can't make heads or tails of it as to what it might mean for Specimen 6, but there is mention of psionics. Psionics.
What is that?
Well, unfortunately, the roll was a 7, so the best
How
I can
do
give
I-
you is psionics.
How do I spell that?
Psionics.
I did that. Hold
Main
on.
bullets.
Sion.
I have no idea what that word means, so...
That's
Okay.
telekinesis, Solgra.
Thank you, God.
I just couldn't resist the Tenacious D reference. That's telekinesis, Kyle! This wrist has the power to move you.
So, have you guys found anything interesting over there? I mean, before you sort of left me hanging with this chair. Like, it's impressive that it bolts off the floor. But
Yes, I need the chair. Are you still? You're still going at it?
I'm still holding the chair. You didn't have to do anything with it, so I'm sort of like stood here holding the chair. I feel a bit silly now, to be honest. Been here for a while.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's probably best that you're there holding the chair.
Oh, thanks, Fanny Balls.
Roll a
Given
strength check for
what
me.
we're
Just...
Who?
You and Fanny Boss. Both roll a strength check.
Okay.
I'm just gonna quickly, quietly say to Kaporis, are we gonna tell him?
Maybe not.
I think it might
15.
be worth keeping on the down low until we know more.
Yeah, I think one breakdown happening currently is enough.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know if any balls. It's a bit weird down here, isn't it? It's a lot of like really nice chairs and everything, apparently, but you know, there's a lot of me's about, and I don't like it.
While you're talking, between you and Fanny Boss, you somehow sort of wrench the third bolt loose, and it tilts the chair even further, shearing that bolt. There is now a singular bolt. It's tilted pretty precariously. You're not sure if anyone could even sit in it at this point, but it's almost off of the ground.
Shall we finish this with our fatty balls? Should we
Why not?
give it another
Maybe, like,
cheeky
chop
lift?
it from underneath and get a good whack.
Are you gonna chop it?
I'm gonna
Alright,
chop it. Yeah.
Do you want to lift it or chop it?
I want to chop it.
Okay,
How are you
move
going
out the
to
way
do...
then.
Actually, Fanny Boss, how are you going to do this? What's your plan here?
I'm just gonna hit it with my sword and hopefully it comes off.
And is your sword going to be on fire?
Yeah.
Alright, roll an attack roll for me. So roll an attack.
Right, before this happened, I'm like way out the way. I'm like, nope. that's good with me.
Chair.
In before sprinklers.
Give me a two hit.
14.
Alright, so a 14. Yeah, roll damage.
And that would be... It's been a while. Hold on.
Imagine it doesn't hit.
It's like it doesn't hit. AC 25 for a chair.
Fucking hell.
So that's your... Oh, you do fire damage as well. Yep.
Oh no, that includes...
Oh,
I know
wait.
it's... I know, wait, no, it doesn't.
You,
You're
do-
right.
you get an extra 2d6 in fire damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgetting one character. As usual. There we
So
go.
it's 22 damage. So as you give your sword some welly and really go at this connection at the base, this big sheet metal, 3 of the bolts of the 4 are already sheared off. Your fiery sword essentially cuts through the metal like a knife through butter, and just melts and cauterizes like the metal as it goes through. And as you finish pulling the blade through, the chair just goes poof, and just lands on the ground, now completely detached.
Right.
Boris, the chair's there.
With a 14, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to say that your strike was perfectly horizontal. So it is a clean horizontal cut. So you could repurpose this into something else now. Or it would maybe balance on the piece of metal that's come off the floor.
I want to throw it at Kaporis and be like, here's your fucking chair.
Alright, this is a pretty heavy chair, so give us a strength check, or athletics or straight up strength, whichever is higher for you.
Before this happens, because I have where is it? Features and traits. I have danger sense, which is mainly about dex saving throws and stuff. But can I sense that it's being thrown and kind of like, if he manages to throw it, kind of like get in front of Kaporis and catch it?
You can spidey sense it, yeah, I'll allow you to roll to catch it. What was the roll to throw?
Just doing it now. 15.
15 I'll allow. 15 is enough to give it a good enough yeet across the room despite it being a really heavy chair. Solgra, yeah, your danger sense kicks in, you go full spidey sense. Roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
Cool. I get advantage. Bear with. Yeah, that's not cool.
That sounded way closer. Was that a
And that's
wrist
a
barrier?
little bit different to the normal wrists, guys.
19.
Oh, fuck.
19 will allow you to block it. You're not going to outright catch this thing. 'Cause it's pretty big and it's coming over a monitor at the two of you. But you're able to like sort of grab it while it's in air and sort of like twist with it enough to like bring it down behind you on the floor without it doing any significant damage to you or Corporius.
And I'm going to stare. I'm going to throw it down, and I'm going to stare Fanny Boss down.
I'm gonna laugh.
It does, however, come down with a mighty thud.
Guys, I have a feeling that a lot of them know where we are now.
Maybe we can
Just
use
not a berry.
maybe we can use a projection. If it comes in here, we're not here. We can make it believe that the projection is another one of itself,
Can everyone roll a perception saving throw for me, please?
Oh,
and we could surprise it.
And if we
Perception.
leave the chair
Perception
here,
saving throw?
they
Oh,
can
just
get
check.
perception check, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a saving throw.
13.
18.
Perception.
13.
24.
Anyone looked at the roof recently? The ceiling.
No,
Oh
20.
no.
Is that sure as like happens?
Natural 20,
Oh wow.
Oh, dude.
25.
Big eyes.
So what have we got? Got 15, 19, 13.
I got a 20.
Solgra, I'm gonna need you to roll yours with disadvantage, please, as you are catching a chair.
Hey. You motherfucker.
Hey, it's just how it be.
Can I cast guidance? As
No, it's all
thankfulness
happening
for
at the
throwing
same
a chair.
time.
Oh, sad. Okay.
Hey.
21.
Alright. So, even though you are the one catching a chair, everyone's
Carrying
attention
the
seems
team.
to be on you at this point, especially with the loud noise made by the chair. You knew the chair was going to make a loud noise. It's not quite your focal point. You end up looking directly at the hologram. And something that you notice just sort of pings in your mind. One of the loud shrieking roars that you can hear in the distance, somewhere in the Cold Forge that's reverberating far enough to reach you, appears to be in sync with the image of Subject 6 roaring.
Fuck. So the glowy thing is kind of like roaring at the same time as the noise roaring, and that's a little bit fucking concerning.
Does it still look see-through?
Yes, it's still see-through. It's still a hologram, but the hologram of Subject 6 does seem to turn specifically to look at Solgra.
Turn it off. Turn it off. I start pressing buttons on the machine.
I
To
call
turn it off.
the light.
Roll a d20 for me.
Oh god, no!
If you're just gonna start
No,
pushing
no,
buttons, roll a d20 for me.
Oh my god.
Why do I have 20 for the chair and a 4 for the...
Because that's what is important for you.
That's true.
You hear,
Do Kaporis.
you hear somewhere,
I have to turn it off.
not in the room with you, but somewhere, some distance from you, enough to echo slightly, you hear a thunk. Almost like a lock releasing.
Porus,
What was that?
what did you do?
I think we should go back through the vent and just kind of leave, you guys. We can find another adventure.
The door, the actual door to this control room appears to still be sealed. The little blinking red light is still continuing to be a little blinking red light next to the door, and it hasn't opened. But somewhere in this facility you can assume that a lock has been released. You do, however, successfully manage to turn off the hologram entirely.
Oh god bless.
And and Specimen 6 is going to return to the void in a random direction so they can replace them where they need to be.
Like, I know this might sound dumb, but oh, it's me. Of course, it's gonna sound dumb, but we heard a thunk. We had multiple thunks. I'm hearing a lot of thunks right now. They're probably going to be behind that steel door, right? Maybe.
Fair to assume.
We know where they're coming from this time, so maybe we should open the door and just face it. We need to go that way anyway. But if we try and go back for any events or whatever, and we get caught off or caught in a sticky situation in a place that's not so open space, we might be at a disadvantage. Just saying.
But there's so much left to explore.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that if we go through there, we're going to find more stuff and also deal with things that are there so that we actually have more time to explore. Maybe.
But I'm not a berry.
Maybe we
If
can
we
find
go-
out and turn you back into a berry.
I'm sold. Okay. I'm listening.
If we go back, what have we learned?
Not throw chairs at each other.
It's a good one.
Fair point.
I want to clip
And I
Russell's reaction
pointedly-
to that.
And I pointedly look at Corporeus. We need to
What?
find out more.
Yes,
we need to
yes,
go forward.
we do. Sorry, I thought you were mad at me. No, that's fine.
I'm not.
Um,
I'm not mad at you.
Okay.
I'm trying to send you a message
Yes, yes.
without anyone else knowing.
We're on the same page here. We're no one else is catching on to this. You're doing great, Solgra. Keep it up. We've got this. Worry not, team. We're still with it.
What are
Just
you
like
guys
looking at them while like munching on some good berries.
Maybe
No.
whatever you guys want to do it quickly.
I mean, are you wanting to find more stuff out here?
Is there anything else in this room that we haven't investigated yet? Before we decide to, figure out whether we can actually unlock this door.
There's
I think
screens.
we've pretty much looked at everything in this room.
Let's try and not destroy the machinery if we do end up in battle, so we can come back and explore more if we have to.
Yeah. Talking about that, battle formations, maybe. Like, we've only been adventuring for a long ass time. We haven't actually talked about, what we should do. And here's a situation. I used to be in the military, so I mean, like, I'm not surprised I was going to brought this up to here. But I think
Drums in the front, squishy ranged in the back, I think is generally the...
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be standing here to open the gate. So if the ranged folk come with me and maybe the fighter boys go off to the sides of the door, so that if something is standing there, we can blast it immediately, and then you guys can jump it.
All right, I'll take the left
I
flank.
think me and Stolgra should be in the very front, and then Gershaw and Fannyba should be on the sides. And then the other three at the very, very back.
So, do we know whether we can, get sort of access from this panel? Because I know the panels at the side, that's where I found the level 1 clearance.
Well, I got access to something here,
These ones.
some way. Can I see if there's any access on this panel that I'm standing at?
Again, it just seems to be more of the same sort of machinery for the consoles around the room. Nothing stands out to you about where you're stood that would be any different from any other console, really.
Cool.
Right. Okay. Well, everyone get ready and then let's do this, I guess.
I'm gonna go stand near the front.
I'm gonna ready my weapon.
I'm gonna eat a buff berry.
That is unwise.
That's what you're doing.
Is everyone ready?
Try and open this door.
Did nobody else hear that is unwise about the buff berry?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she said that is advised. That's why I
That
laughed.
is advised or unwise?
I don't know, I don't think the buff berry is our
Advised.
biggest problem at this point.
Okay.
I think our biggest problem is not dying severely. Okay.
Affirmative.
Yes, thank you. Everyone ready? Any last Hail Marys before we open? In fact, I'm gonna cast guidance on Solgra just before pressing the button.
For
Alright,
after the battle,
I'm gonna-
after battle, can we get codex a bit louder compared to the other sounds? 'Cause I hear it
Yeah,
quite-
it's been a while since I messed with these. I messed with them for Halloween, so I need to change
That's
everything back.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Wait.
okay. It's just really quiet.
No. M, do you
Yes.
still shoot arrows?
I believe
Well,
so.
guidance
yes.
doesn't help for battle. Well, you have it anyway.
I
Oh,
ready
wait.
my weapon that
I'm
I don't
gonna-
know how to use.
I'm gonna cast.
Just for retconning, instead of me just saying there was a noise. There you go. There's a sound that you heard somewhere in the facility. I knew I had one somewhere.
Just to declare it, I've used Arms of the Astral Self, summon them.
Okay.
And I'm casting flame arrows on M.
Ooh. Yeah. How?
So you'll do 1d6 extra fire damage for your next 12 shots.
Okay. I don't know how my weapon works, to be honest, because we have never tried it since I got the new weapon, so this is gonna be fun combat.
Just click it and it has all the things in there.
Okay, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Is
Uh,
my foot still on fire?
This is where we do all this prep, and then we can't get the door open. Isn't it?
no. Watch me. I'm gonna roll another nat 20. It'll be class. It'll be the last one of the session. I open the door, or I try. I press all the right buttons. What do you
Nothing
mean, Bob?
happens.
What do you mean, Bob? I pressed another button.
Accessing joint security technology.
What?
Despite being able to
Fine,
read some of the ancient language, you cannot understand what was just said. Luckily, you have someone that can translate for you.
Access denied.
Wait, didn't we have
Oh,
that security
bless.
clearance release thing?
For something. Appears not for this.
Wait, wasn't there a door at the end of the other hallway? This is like again the main office. This maybe wouldn't be like a level 1 clearance. I go over to the other monitor and check if I can do anything here that is more in line with what we're looking for.
As you look across this this monitor, you can see that there is no longer an option for security clearance and unlocks. There is a notification on it that says Control moves to main security office.
The hell is that?
Voice in the sky. What's happening? Like, why isn't the door opening? I mean, we've done all this battle prep and everything. Look, we're as organised as we ever have been.
Which is a shame, I know, but the door remains completely sealed.
Guys, as much fun as it is standing here in formation, as much as I like it, maybe we should explore that other door back through the vents.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in this direction. I like basically. I want to go over here.
As Gershaw was asking about things in terms of what is going on, you see that there is a trail on the map that was created, that was floating in the projector. You can't follow it entirely because of its corrupted status, although you can see that it leads beyond the corridor that you entered this floor on. Let me freehand a little, and you can see it goes sort of a dotted line across the facility and then vanishes.
Oh.
Okay, so let's move, guys. Let's move.
Maybe let
Can we
the
still-
buff boys.
Can we still be in formation? I felt
Yes.
cool.
Okay, right.
My suggestion is one buff at the front, one buff at the back.
Buff sandwich.
Buff
Right,
side.
who's going to take the front?
I'll be in the front.
I'll go behind the front person because I got that extra reach in it.
So like little conga line. One at a time, guys.
Come on to the conga.
You can move with arrow keys. We'll be very coordinated.
Oh my
Wait, we
god.
can?
Whoa. Game changer.
I didn't know that. This is so funny.
Wait.
Oh fuck, I've splintered into the wall. I'm dead, sorry.
Boris has been teleported.
Shit, like keep doing it.
Right,
Should we
Assault
Ryan
formation.
and Oscar?
Oscar's not moving, so I'm not moving until Oscar's moving.
It's Oscar breathing.
Oscar is currently
I think you
muted.
should leave.
Guys, we lost the end of our conga line. I'm gonna go check.
Everyone back?
That's reverse conga. Reverse the conga.
Right.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm here.
Guys.
Guys.
They're there. They're
Sorry,
there.
Uh-oh.
sorry.
Do, do,
Let
do,
me
do.
move.
Oh god,
Yes.
the formation's already broken. We've lost the battle before it's begun.
No.
No!
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Formation, people! Formation!
Formation. Oh god.
Right, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna step through this door and see what happens. Everybody get over here.
As you approach it, you can see in front of you that this small room before you has opened up. There is a sort of a circular door, and inside you can see a piece of machinery and a plate, much like the one that you were just on in the floor in the middle of the room. You can also see that there is another ventilation shaft, and you can quite easily see down it to a corner that vanishes into the darkness. Gershaw, you have stepped into this room. As you step into the room, the circular door behind you seals closed instantly, leaving you alone in this room.
Guys? Guys?
Can we hear him?
No, it is completely soundproofed. You can't hear a thing.
Okay, I was gonna suggest we ignore them if we could hear him.
I'm gonna start attempting to pull on the door. If there's any way that I can pull, push.
It has it opened and closed like an iris, like it completely sealed around like a camera shutter.
Can I push this button?
You get a sort of a failure beep as it fails to do anything of any importance. It flashes red, and written in common, you can see the words decontamination in progress.
Oh, we'll probably be okay. He's just being like sprayed by the long rest machine.
Gershaw,
Done.
inside this room, you cannot hear anything outside on either side of you. There is a console with a screen in the very corner of the room. In front of you is a similar piece of apparatus that looked like the projector from the main office. And behind you is a keypad that looks to be locked down. The simple iconography on the plate at your feet shows the feet facing towards this piece of apparatus.
I would do what any person would do at this point. Stand with my feet in the lines.
As you stand on the plate with your feet on the markings, you feel the pressure plate below you sink slightly, and the device in front of you begins to whir to life. It begins to project beams of light directly at you, blinding you partially for a moment. And after it finishes scanning you, the room begins to fill very quickly with a thick, smoke-like gas. You're unable to see anything other than just the sort of refractions of light being emitted at you for a moment. And after a second, you hear a little ping, and the room begins to evacuate all the smoke, and the door in front of you begins to slowly open. It's not quite as well maintained as the one you entered through. It's a bit creaky, a bit loud, sounds a little bit rusty, but you are able to see into the next corridor. And in plain text on the console in the corner reads the words, "Please proceed." They
Can we
can't
see
see or
Gersha?
hear you, no. Gersha is just emoting at a completely opaque barrier.
And a motorway I shall. I was gonna step out and have a look.
Alright, as you step out and have a look.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
The ventilation system appears to have actual sealed shutters. You can't see through them, and it doesn't look as if you'll be able to prise them off of the wall or gain any sort of entry to them. The door to your north, much like the ventilation system, is completely and utterly sealed closed. Though it looks like a different sort of mechanical door to the one that was in the other office. It looks a little bit weaker, but still it does look like you would have a very tough time trying to brute force your way through it.
Okay.
The door to the sort of airlocked decontamination chamber remains open on your side and remains closed on the party's side. So, Polly, what are you up to now that Gersha has vanished?
The status changed. On the does it say like decontamination complete?
No, it simply just is a blank display now.
Should we try and go down this tunnel and see if we get some?
Good.
Yeah. Might be able to meet up with him.
My barbarian brain wants to try and brute force this door.
Should we
Maybe
split?
push the button first.
Press the button first.
And again. No matter what amount of picking numbers or just punching it always returns an error.
What do we
Can
send
I
on a
smack
pressure
it?
plate?
Setting on the pressure plate gives you no response either. The keypad is now just reading one word. Error.
Can I smack the
Maybe,
door?
maybe to go down to the vents. Oh, did I tell you guys I saw something like that was like all the way to the right of us, like, and I like point like over here. There's like dead bodies and like monitors and stuff, but they're
What?
hidden through a vent.
I want to smack this door.
Smack the door.
Alright. Roll to smack the door.
Also, you very much did not, Mr. Birdman.
Yeah, well, there is. I peeked down this tunnel a little bit, and it looked like maybe it would like head in the same direction as the room. Like, it looks like this tunnel has like a branch that's leading towards the other direction, or towards the right. So maybe
Right.
we could follow it to the end,
I need to.
or we could go all the way back to the vent, and I could gaseous form one
Is that
person with
your
me.
to hit roll?
Yeah.
Alright, you hit it. Roll for damage.
Not raging. I'm just moderately annoyed. 15.
Alright, yeah. You. I assume it's with the hammer, yeah? Or the axe?
This is
Alright, so using
the
the
axe.
axe. Similar event though. You bring the axe up, and as you sort of flail it hard into this door in front of you, the axe pretty much bounces off of it. Like, you feel like you've left something of a sort of chip in the metal, but feels as if this would be a fairly arduous task to cut your way through this door.
I'm gonna
Ooh,
growl,
dodge.
look at this axe, and just say, "This is a shit fucking axe."
You could also assume that this kind of security system and the power, or at least resilience of these doors, is probably a key factor into why you haven't already been assaulted by an army of Riss.
I have an intelligence of 7. I don't think about things like that.
But you are military trained, or at least fighting fit trained. You'd have to think that, you know, this would form a pretty good barricade.
I just wanted to smack the door.
And smack the door you did.
Yeah.
So while those guys are doing that, I'm just gonna go on a wander because Gershel's got nothing else to do.
So yeah, so I have 2 ideas. 1, go this way. 2, go this way. And I try and explain those directions with my words.
What if we split up so we're in 3
Yeah.
teams? More teams covers more ground, right?
Yes. I see
I've
that.
heard that's a good way to avoid danger and risk.
Yeah, me
Also
too.
less people dying if we split in groups.
Less people
Okay.
dying at the same time.
Can we at least do this tactically? So, like, if we are going to split the party, seeing as the party's already split, can we at least do this tactically so it's like a squishy or 2 goes with the goes with the buff.
I think we should just do another conga line. Why don't we just go straight down and then
Okay. Let's conga line it. I think that's probably
conga line's
safer.
fun and fast.
Can I?
Sound. That's really loud.
I'm gonna take another step. Really.
Those sounds are for Gershaw.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's go down.
Which way we're
Same
going?
formation?
That way or
Yeah.
Who's
that way?
stand?
Go down. I think.
Okay.
Conga, 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 conga.
Scar.
Alright.
Let's go.
Conga.
We need you.
It's time for traversing the lands.
Conga, conga, conga.
Oh shit. Ow. Oh, fuck.
No?
Sheree, stop.
Ah!
Alright. So, Sheree, you are able, as the one in front, to see a certain amount of this chamber.
Ooh.
Okay, we're just gonna say that Oscar's with us.
Ooh.
Left a nice little space.
I peek inside just a little bit, and I relay that I see a scary purple thing.
You can clearly see on the opposite side of this chamber to the ventilation duct, which you're looking through now, the sort of airlock door used, similar to the other two chambers that you'd seen on your way in, has a similar size and style of build to it, although this one, for some reason, whatever reason, is entirely rusted over and sees shut, as you'll remember from the other side. So you presume now that you are seeing the inside of the chamber that you were not able to access from the main corridor.
Guys, as your tour guide, I want to give you all a chance to look inside. And I'm just gonna like move over one and let Fanny Boss look inside.
And do a backflip on the way by.
You have to roll athletics for that. No, acrobatics for that one. You are in a ventilation duct. Backflipping is not something easily done.
Okay. Acrobatics.
Even for Fanny Boss, backflipping in a 5x5 ventilation system.
25.
Despite all expectations, Fanny Boss pulls off the perfect backflip. Like, he's able to stay perfectly in, like, the center of the cube that he's stood in. And backflips just fine. Doesn't even make a sound when he does it.
Can I roll an Arcana check, as I suspect that the entire world might have actually rotated around Fanny Boss?
Roll Arcana for me.
5.
Nothing seems magical to you. It seems magical in a performative sense. You're like, that's just the fact that Fanny Boss can do that, that's a pretty magical thing, but you can't really get past that. That's kind of what you're focusing on.
I have a bit of a suspicion that the universe rotates around Fanny Boss when he does this, and I, despite not knowing why I think that, I will continue to disbelieve the backflips for now.
Like, Forrest is right in there, so...
I'm gonna throw an eye in. Oh, shit!
Why does it always...
Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
Why does it always hide when I click reveal? I hate that. There we go.
Briggy is killing us slowly, one by one, by hiding us.
What does the purple thing look like?
Like a purple thing. Sorry. So just bear with me 1 second while I do this. There we go.
Oh. I'm backing up. Or can I not back up?
Nope.
No, I gotta stay put.
Where are you?
I can move, but...
Okay, so... Kaporius, as you enter this chamber, you can see in front of you is what looks like a vat. Although this is made out of stone as opposed to metal, it's like the only stone object you think you've seen in this place in a very long time, considering that you're surrounded by metals. There is a display in front of it. The display is completely cracked and not working. It's completely out of operation. There is a large terminal against the wall on the further side of the room, although as you can see from the glowing red lights, it seems to be non-operable. It's displaying an error repeatedly, one that you can't fully read. You are flanked on either side by strange machinery. You don't know what any of this stuff does. It all seems really alien to you. Some of it looks a little like things you might have seen artificers work with in the past, maybe in different areas and lands, like maybe something came through Kurhar in the past. There's bits and pieces that make you believe that this is a mishmash of technology gathered from many locations.
Is there anything collectible about the purple thing? Say in a vial.
So looking closer now at this stone vat, the entire rim of this vat is alight with violet runes, all of which seem to be similar to the elven runes that M pointed out in the control room. Although these look different. From your quick recollection of the command center room that you're in before, these are not the same runes. They are very similar and definitely carry a very elvish sort of ancestry to them. The vat itself, peering over, it looks as if there is a thin, translucent violet film over the top of it. And almost regrettably, as you peer over the rim to look at what's inside, it's quite clear that the entire vat is filled with Plagiaris praepotens. It is Zigoo in
Ooh.
large quantity. Although, unlike the vats and cylinders that you saw in the higher levels of the Cold Forge, this substance doesn't appear to react to your presence. It doesn't try and push out of the vat towards you. It just remains completely inert.
Okay, well, is there any ladles around?
You don't see any such apparatus for interacting
Yeah, well,
with Zigoo.
I'm not gonna stick my hand in, so that's okay.
Looking
to
at
know.
the furthest console in red, you do get a short description out of the error when you take the time to read it. It doesn't tell you what is wrong. It simply gives you an error code, and that is C150. The actual notation, the message beneath it, simply mentions Fey Field, remaining power 3%.
Okay, that doesn't sound very good. Okay. I don't really know what to do with that. I'm gonna take the information and run, I think.
Understandable.
Can't think of anything else to do.
Conga, conga, conga.
Briggy,
Oh,
whilst
excuse
they're
me,
doing
Mr.
that, can
Pangloss.
I ask for a status update as to what's going on with me? Because Gershel would probably know in a high tense situation what's going on around him.
You can ask.
What's going on?
You'll find out.
Okay.
Mr.
Always fun, some suspense before you find out you're dead. I mean,
Yeah,
before
I
you find
love
out what's
that.
on.
Yeah. No, but before I get a chance to fight back.
So, passing that particular event, you see as well into the room that you've been in before. It is, for those that were in that room, that is the vent that you were able to see behind the machinery that you couldn't access. It still appears closed. And to save you all conquering, you'll also see that that leads into.
Conga, 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 conga.
Look with you, this particular vent cover is open.
Oh. Ooh. That looks fun. It's like. What's inside the barrel? Or the broken box?
The broken box is empty.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna make room for the rest of the congers.
Alright, so we're gonna do about this far back.
Oh.
And now that you're all out, we'll reveal this much of this convo. As you exit the vent, you are able to see in front of you the body of a humanoid. It doesn't look particularly as guardian to this one. In fact, it shares more features with the more common humanoid races of Edis, although it seems to have a meld of different racial features. Its ears seem rather elven in nature as opposed to human. A closer look from any of you will reveal that the mouth, particularly the teeth, sort of protrude from the mouth in a similar fashion to orcish tusks. And by its height, looks like a fairly small statured creature, similar to either a dwarf or a halfling. There seems to be a mishmash of many genetic traits within this dead creature in front of you. Strangely enough, you see no physical damage, no wounds. It's just simply dead.
Is he wearing the same clothes as the Asgardians?
No, this creature appears to be wearing what looks like a fabric jumpsuit.
The Does it have pockets?
It does not have pockets.
It's a mechanic. They
It
killed the mechanic.
has something of a badge emblazoned on the breast of the jumpsuit. On the back, the same badge appears, and this time simply a name, not a name, sorry, but a designation. On the back of the jumpsuit simply reads "Subject 21."
Does it look anything like Gersha? But like...
It does not
weird.
in any way bear a passing resemblance to Gersha. It is a very different person.
Hey, should we like go this way though? Because
Yes, definitely we should open up all of these chests.
It
No, no,
looks
we-
like there's
we-
a glowy thing. Maybe that can give us more information about something.
Yeah, I remember there was another dead dude and something that looked like terminals in this general direction.
but also
On
we
the
have a
other side.
potential dead dude that we actually care about.
Gabi?
Gabby?
Guys, hello? Anybody anywhere?
Bill?
Is it Jorn?
Bill Pye?
No.
No, definitely not.
I hear you're all in the market for a chariot.
No, not here.
Hello?
We should
Anybody?
really, I think we should go find Gersha.
Since you're at this body already, by the way, I don't think you need to roll an investigation check for it, but is anyone inspecting the body any further, for any further details?
Yeah, go on. I was interested in his pockets anyway.
Alright, so as you are looking over the corpse of Subject 21, you do note all these interesting genetic traits that appear to make it a mishmash of different humanoid races. You spot a little bit of everything in some way, but if you know what to look for when it comes to a particular race, you can find something about this creature that at least partially matches your idea of that particular race. Interestingly enough, the more that you try and get a sort of a vibe of this creature, the less certain you are about just anything about it. Its sex even appears androgynous. The more you focus on any particular aspect of it, the more it seems to be uncertain in your mind as to what you're looking at.
Okay.
But you can definitely tell, with all certainty, one thing, and that is it has 0 pockets. It is unable to carry anything with it.
Okay. I turn to the rest of the party and say this person is many things. But one thing is not someone with pockets.
What about that blue guy beside him?
Guys.
Oh yes, right. Finding security
Nice.
terminal.
As M steps away from
No,
the
yes.
body, a circular platform next to the body begins to emit light, and you are met with the hologram of an Asgardian, essentially the same Asgardian that you saw at the entrance to this floor. It looks similar to Validus, as the hologram begins its pre-recorded message of authorized personnel only.
That's us.
And after a sort of second of static, unmoving, sort of holographic light, the hologram of Validus turns his head to look directly at Sharid and says directly to you, "You have authorization?"
Of course.
What can I help you with?
We are trying to regain a security clearance.
Behind me, you will find the head security office.
Exactly what we were looking for.
And it
Thank
repeats once again, authorized personnel only. Unauthorized access to the security office carries a heavy penalty.
Before Sharid does anything, did you say that the corpse has a badge?
Just a part of the jumpsuit. It looks to be some sort of sigil that you have seen sort of elsewhere on the walls and other areas of the Cold Forge itself. You kind of think that this is maybe their like official emblem of this organization.
Okay, I get. Do I have daggers at all? So
Did we give you some regular daggers? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Did you lose those as well?
Check your character
that's
sheet.
I cut the emblem of the jumpsuit.
As you roll a perception check for me.
Me.
Yes.
It's a 1, but because I have the thing that gets proficiency, it's gonna be a 21 instead.
All right.
Sorry, you get a plus 20 on perception?
No, expertise. Every expertise I roll below 10, it's a 10. And I have 4 expertise and 2 proficiencies.
Yeah, so it ends up being ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
It's
okay.
a very, very perceptive build, is M's rogue.
And I'm thinking of buying a feat that gives me more expertise for the next ability score improvement, so yeah.
Well, with that, quite luckily, as you are cutting the badge from the jumpsuit and being careful to like take as much of it without sort of damaging the badge at all, you take a few more glances at Subject 21, and you notice that this corpse, this person in front of you, looks completely different to the first time that you looked at them.
Okay, what? I call Sharid and Fanny Boss because they're next to me. I'm like, look at the guy.
Uh-huh.
Now look at me.
Uh-huh.
Now look at the guy.
Uh-huh.
Now look at me.
Is it Gershaw?
It is not Gershaw.
Can I hear any of this?
Sort of. We'll get to that.
Did they see any changes? Am I seeing
The two of you saw a similar effect to what M has seen. Each time you looked away and then looked back at this corpse, it appeared to you as if it was a completely different and unrelated person to the last person that you saw as a corpse on the ground.
That's actually really cool.
Meanwhile, me and Capo are sat at the back thinking we need to get.
I'm like, look at him. Look at me.
Huh.
How,
Can I learn how to do that?
how do you think he can do? Is he dead?
And also,
check his
since you're
pulse.
far enough around that corner, as far as I'm concerned, Sharif, you can see the rest of the hallway.
It is.
What's round there?
It's the dead dude I was talking about. And by the way, it's the main security terminal.
Cool. We'll find what we need to get, and then we need to go and get Gershaw.
In the meantime, Gershaw,
Okay.
can you roll for me a strength saving throw, followed by a dexterity saving throw, followed by another strength saving throw, please?
Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Huh?
That's how this.
I think I need some peanut butter for this. 1 second.
A strength saving throw.
Yes, please.
19.
Okay.
Don't know if that passes or not, but I guess we'll find out. A dex saving throw. Now, just to tell you with the dex saving throw, I have the evasion feature. So when you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dex saving throw, you only take half damage. If you fail, if you succeed, then you take no damage. 23 on the dex. And the final strength one, 20.
Okay. And
Press it.
finally, can you roll a D100 for me, please?
And here's where it goes to shit, because I have no idea what this means. 45.
45. Alright, let's go. Place you there.
And that's the amount of us I gotta fight. Oh,
Where are you, Gershon?
what?
You're
What?
gone.
Where's your
You're
dog?
gone.
Don't worry,
Inside
you are
a box.
alive, but you are not where you previously were. You're having your own adventure right now.
You got sucked into a vent.
I'm not killing you, don't worry.
Not yet.
But you're having your own little adventure, side adventure that I can't say out loud.
That's exciting. I want to know.
I don't know if exciting is the word. I just got pulled off screen against my will.
Quite literally.
Screen time!
Security room?
In Canada, that's all you hear. Gershel yell through the fence.
Give me your best war cry.
Like about to have battle war cry or like surprise war cry? What?
Mid-battle war cry.
With the new voice, it's gonna be hard. I've not tested this. Give me a second. With reverb.
It sounds like you have a friggin' frog in your throat, dude. Like. Oh, this. Can we work out that he's not there anymore without walking all the way back?
Yeah, so you heard a partial war cry from Gershel, although it was before you exited the vents.
Right.
You can see all the way to the corridor the other side of you, just fine. And Shareed, you can see into the main security room just fine. And with that, just because I'm planning on having a shorter session, I think that is a good time for a quick break. But if we could make it a quick break instead of like a whole 15-minute break this week, it's so that
Yes.
Yes.
so we don't
I
overrun time.
am smoking.
Second five.
Let's do a quick BRB screen, and then we will return. Alright, you got 5 minutes. Time starts now.
I know Briggy's still here, but it's actually my stream now.
Well, you know what? I actually do need more beverage, so there we go. Audience, you are now in the very capable hands of stream usurper?
Call me Supreme Dictator.
Yeah, Supreme Dictator.
Temporarily.
Supreme Temporary Dictator Cactus Room. I'll be right back. Cactus Stream begins now.
Was the D100 Badgers? Yes. Briggy was rolling exactly how many Badgers that Gershel had to fight off. Now, what actually happened during that scene, I'll give you guys some granola. You guys know the vacuum from Teletubbies? You know, the thing that goes like, you know, vacuum noises, right? Okay, well, one of those things with a big old gaping vacuum mouth just like descending from the ceiling and just like sucked up Gershel. And you could see him like dangling from the ceiling, you know, like his legs kind of, yeah, like Nunu, exactly, yeah. So you could see him like dangling from the ceiling, only his legs visible, just kind of like flopping and kicking around in the air as he's like, this vacuum just like sucks him directly out of the corridor and into a badger facility where he found 45 badgers. And he let off a war cry midway through, and he had to fight these badgers off, but there were too many of them. He couldn't handle the badgers, so he tried to escape, climbing back through the pipe That's right, like a Mario pipe, exactly. But then... Expect to hear naughty Nunu. Did he survive? For now. For now. He'll never quite recover from the trauma of the badger. In fact, if in the future anybody ever suspects, I don't know, like, have you ever heard the term like getting badgered? You know, like you're getting badgered by someone? Well, saying that term to Gershon now is a direct cause of high levels of stress and anxiety. Like, you might as well just tell him that like his parents just died. So don't talk about badgering him. Don't talk about getting badgered. Nothing badger related. Okay, don't even badger around. Wednesday has an animated stabby stab. That's great, dude. That's actually so good. Also, Oscar has died, actually. He is no longer with us.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to my stream.
Ah, yes. What are we doing today, Mr. Stream Boss?
I was just telling them about how Gershaw got like hoovered through the ceiling by a big old like Nunu vacuum, and then got brought into a room filled with 45 badgers that he had to fight off.
I think that's canon. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And that's how the campaign ends. Oh, hey, Briggy, what's
Pretty
up?
exciting.
I mean, I heard it all. I had it on my phone.
Oh, damn it.
Or did I? Maybe I'm lying.
Eh?
Hey, what's up, Badger Boy?
So what's Badger Boy?
How are those claw marks treating you?
Did you get badgered by a couple NPCs?
Oh, what?
What is?
I'm confused. I'm very confused.
What would you call a half wrist, half badger? Like, what's the name there?
Honey Badger.
Roger.
Roger. Yes.
Roger.
It's with an X. With an X.
Yeah, Roger with an X.
Yeah. Like X Roger.
Imagine saying that to somebody. What's your name, Roger? With an X. What? Where?
Where? Yes.
It's Roger.
It's like the wrist layers, right? Like the X is silent. It's like a Roger. Yeah.
Just like the idea of like going into a regular ass office job and being like, "Hi, I'm Roger," with an X, and letting people be like, "What? Where does the X go?"
Like, does it replace the O, or which?
just comes before the R.
Well, is it like that with like, you know, with the apostrophe kind of thing?
Oh god. What, X apostrophe Roger?
Yeah. I'll put it in party chat, like what I think it might be look like. Yeah.
The attempts in Twitch chat are great as well.
That's like fantasy Roger. You need the apostrophe and the fancy letters.
So basically what you're saying is to make your fancy name, what you got to do is take your real name and then put an X and an apostrophe in front of it.
Yeah, actually. Like, Charles. With an X.
Yeah, Charles with an X. No.
Oh damn, are we like 100% down an A now?
It appears so.
Did he leave?
I think he fell asleep.
That's fine. It will just take me a moment to mess with cameras. Can somebody stream, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm still on the pause screen from earlier. I will finish this run.
Now I must real quick just edit the cams before we can appear back on screen again. We will continue momentarily. Damn me for not noticing this sooner. I could have done it instead of getting a beverage.
I think it happened like right after you left.
Yeah, it must have done.
Yeah, there was no way you could have known. Unless you were listening in on the badgers.
No.
Conversation.
I lied.
Wrong word. No! It's okay, come here.
What is it?
I was just talking about how, like Martos was asking me, like, so what happened to Gershon? I told him exactly what happened to Gershon.
What happened to me? Because I'm
It
pretty in
involved
the dark
Nunu,
about things.
a dark room, and 45 badgers.
Dead.
That's pretty
That
hot.
was the badger roll. You are correct. Roll a D100. How many badgers?
Exactly.
It's alright, Gershon. You can save yourself with the one thing known to quell the rage of the badger.
Meat?
Honey?
I'm waiting for one person to give the right reference. Come on.
Mushroom.
No, different reference. It's
No.
mashed potatoes.
Oh shit.
I
Roger
don't
and
remember
badger.
that.
That was my second guess.
That's like a two-person joke at most.
Everybody knows Badger likes mashed potato.
I'm gonna clip that later just for me. Right. Hey, Martas knows. Alright, cool. We're all back and prepared. Let me just jump back into the cameras. We're going to go back live on cams now. We are returned. Cameras been fixed.
Oh.
Alright, break time's over. Let's do this.
At least I got you.
In the distance.
I'm glad
just
at least
keep on
one
hearing.
reference hit immediately today. Alright, so what are the rest of you doing? Gershon, you are currently off having your own little side adventure. Really getting to know the ins and outs and the nitty gritty of the cold forge ventilation ducts.
If this is the security room, we need to find the button, get the security clearance, and then get out so we can find Gershon.
Sounds good.
Okay.
There's this guy here who says we need clearance, and I told him we had it, but we actually don't have it. Don't tell him that. And I like try and like earmuff like the blue guy so he doesn't.
Does the hologram of Validus seems like replying to actual?
From watching Sharid's interactions, you gather that it's really only very basic interactions and answers that you can get from it. It doesn't appear to be a real person or even a sophisticated artificial intelligence like Bucky. It's just giving very basic answers to questions.
I would like to engage in conversation with the hologram so that we can
Okay.
sneak in the security. I'll distract an hologram. Like, you Validus.
And the hologram responds, I am a facsimile of head researcher Irvis.
Irvis, I've met you.
I imagine most members of the Cold Forge have interacted with my original at some point or other.
Yes.
Can I go sneak over and like try and palm the sticker thing from M?
Or
Just to be
the,
like-
the
Yeah.
I guess I'm just going to point out to both Sharid and Fanny Boss as you look through this hallway, the door in front of you is wide open.
Yeah, but there's a dead guy in there. I thought I was gonna get shot if I walked in.
One way to find out.
Yep.
You know
One
what?
way
I'm just gonna
let Fanny Boss
barge
do
past everyone and just go in.
Okay.
Okay.
I keep
I'm gonna stay
entertaining
behind but
Validus
curious and watch.
in the meantime.
As you enter the room, Solgra, and Fanny Boss immediately behind you, the door to this room attempts to close, but it gets like about a foot out of the wall towards closing and jams, and then pulls back slightly and tries to close again, and just continues to repeat this motion of just indefinitely, never fully closing.
Fanny
Right, I'm gonna-
Hilarious.
Right, I'm gonna look
The
around.
two
at
of you
all
looking
the-
around now can see that this office, this room, is definitely more geared towards security, while the contraptions and consoles are unfamiliar to you from your everyday life. Similar things stand out to you. Both of the two of you specifically far more aware than the rest of the party about what the head captain's sort of office of a garrison would be. Similar features stand out to you. The weapons rack in the corner, just the equipment, the desk covered in various notes and notation written down, all seem very familiar to the both of you. You've lived this with your own experiences as Solgra's head of the guard at Fort Donagod and Fanny Boss during your military career with the dwarves. This does appear to be the place to be. The consoles in this room are different to the ones you've experienced so far, although you see, from what you've seen so far with interacting with these consoles, they look familiar enough that you think you can use them, but you don't understand the language. These consoles are actively refusing to change into anything other than Asgardian script.
I'm gonna shout Caporius.
Oh shit. Guys, we have to go back. I forgot my chair. So stressed out! Chair!
Caporius, entering this security room, the first thing you notice, above any other thing, is the chair behind the desk does not look anything like the ergonomic chair you saw before. In fact, it looks like a standard seat made entirely of some sort of steel. You imagine it might even just be basic steel. It looks uncomfortable.
Why'd you have to do this to me, man? Ah, okay, what am I here for? What am I doing?
Right, Caporius.
How can I help?
Like, it's a massive loss. Like, the chair is a massive loss. However,
Yes.
can you read these consoles to see if we can get some sort of clearance, get doors open, anything?
Yes, you can get some extra chairs. Where are the consoles? Yeah, I
Consoles
suppose.
on each of the walls, one extended on an arm.
Oh.
There's a large screen with a sort of crystal ball in front of it on the furthest wall, and then other smaller readout displays along the other walls.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the big shiny one.
On the big shiny one, you can see a readout for all of the locked doors in this facility. You focus in, you can see level 10. You can see a broken floor map, much like the one you've seen before, although this does look to give you control of every single door. Whether or not to open them, close them, change their level of security access requirements, any and all doors can be changed. Unfortunately, you don't know where any of these doors are.
Are they named in a certain way?
Let's see. How are we going to do this?
Asking the real questions.
So there is... Okay, let's read these off then. So you've got Chamber 4, 5, and 6. Chamber 4, Chamber 5, both listed as closed. Chamber 6, listed as error. There is Command Center, listed as closed. There is... Experiment Galley as open. There is Transport Cage 1 and 2, both listed as error. And there is also Elevator Down, listed as closed. You also see, as you scroll through, grouped in errors are Specimen 6 Observation Chamber error. And you also see Ventilation Specimen 6 error.
It's a lot of doors.
That is a lot of those.
Also, typing with your pinky is hard. Because I have popcorn on all my other fingers. Okay. What do we want to open? Do we want to... I think I kind of understand some or most of what's going on here. To some degree. What are we looking to do here?
Oh, sorry, you'll also see Chamber Group 2 ventilation closed.
Without sounding harsh, I think we should just open everything, seeing as Specimen 6 is already out on the loose. If he wants to find us, he will get to us. Assuming it's a he, she. It,
Yeah, but
whatever
let's...
it is.
we could not rush that, you know? We can enjoy our last living moments on this globe. Well, that's relative, I suppose, but... You know, you're not gonna do much enjoying without your chair, but that's anyway. You could... I'm gonna try and close the Specimen 6 observation chamber that is errored and see what happened.
Sorry, which one are you doing?
The Specimen 6 observation chamber, I'm gonna try and close it. The one that's errored.
The error gives you a beep to denote a failure, with a small flash of text that says, "Door no longer exists."
Ah. Okay. Well, we can assume that command center is the room we were in. So we can open that door from here. What else is closed? Elevator. We could go open the elevator, but then again, whatever's on this floor, we don't want it coming down with us either. That's kind of stupid because we need to open it if we could. I'm not too opposed to opening everything, to be honest. Looking at it now. It's really only the command center, the elevator, and some ventilation shafts.
Say we open it all up.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, go for it.
We're gonna have to kill this thing eventually.
Sharit?
Not.
I'm just like standing outside looking at this box. I really.
Oh, you're both. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, I sense an impending sense of doom with my high perception and make a rollie and try to offer a rollie to the hologram. That's the most I can do.
Okay. Is there anything else on this display that is worth knowing? Or worth reading?
That's pretty much it on this display. Just to take a side note from what's going on in the room, Sharid, you successfully managed to open this crate in front of you.
What's inside?
How do I describe this? It is a long piece of metal arranged in such a way that the very end of it, at least half of it, looks like it's made up of two prongs.
Okay.
Made of flat pieces of metal. The prongs are about 3 or 4 inches tall, but only like half an inch thick, and they run in parallel. The bottom of this piece of metal looks similar to the kind of stock that M's gun has, including trigger. The entire thing is wreathed with cylinders and wires connected that vanish somewhere into the housing of this device.
So am I correct in understanding that this is what it looks like?
If you're thinking what I'm thinking, then quite possibly. I don't know if Shareed would know what this is.
It looks like M's thing though, right? Kind of.
It's let me see if I can get a quick image to post into our chat. Alright, I'm just gonna drop this in our chat, but without any further explanation to Twitch chat.
Sure.
This is what you're looking at currently.
Lol.
Okay.
Yes.
See, when you were explaining it there, I was imagining a Bidens.
Yeah, me too actually. I thought it was gonna like shoot forks out.
I thought prongs were the thing when you fry food and you don't want to touch it and you use like the thing. So it's like.
I mean, you could definitely take that apart and turn it into one of these. As long as you've got 2 pieces of metal and some magnets, you've got the beginnings. So Shareed, you will not understand how this works, but you, like, in terms of what it can do and its potential, like your real-world self might know. But you can tell from the stock and the trigger that it probably operates in a similar fashion to M's guns or previous crossbows, in that it looks like a point-and-shoot ranged weapon.
Does it look like there's any ammo in the box?
There is nothing else in the crate other than this item. You see a small LCD display on the side of it that reads 002.
Okay. 002, okay. That is 2 more than I was expecting.
Gonna say 1, but I figured I'd give you a bonus one for funsies.
Yeah, honestly, if there was no display, I was gonna like point down the end of the corridor and just fire it. Do you know what? That's exactly what Shareed would do. I'm gonna point it like straight down the very end of the corridor, and just push the button.
Near where I am, or the other way?
No, the other way. The
Where
long
Shareed
corridor.
was, I mean, where Gershaw was last we knew.
Roll a d100 for me. There is no hit or damage, just roll a d100 for me.
Can I assist?
8.
8. Alright, we'll get back to that. What's happening in the room meanwhile? While Emmy's none the wiser as to this heavy weaponry that Shareed's just pulled out of a crate and decided to fire. What's everyone in the room up to right now? You were just opening...
I was just about to throw open all the locks.
Alright, so giving the command, you begin to open all the locks. You see there's just lines and lines of code running in front of you as various named doors go from a red status to a green status, showing a little unlocking icon. You get a couple at the bottom that just freeze up in error and refuse to open, but before you can really log which ones those are, the display has vanished and the command has been completed. Meanwhile, as you hit all those, and you're just about to hear the sound of doors opening throughout the facility. Where's my... I just want to see if I've got a sound effect for this. Shareed, meanwhile, aims and pulls the trigger, looking down the corridor, and the rest of you hear...
That didn't sound like a door.
That wasn't as cool as I was hoping for.
Oh.
We'll try again. We'll try a different one. I want a bigger sound. I know I must have something. That is really bad.
That's canon.
That's canon.
We could try organically making it.
I didn't save it. I know there's a hole.
Wow. How did you do that?
so disappointed by this. There's an entire pack of like starship weapons that I wanted to use the sound from, and it's just like, nah, we don't exist. All we've got is that piddly laser shot. Ah, this one. That is not what that's listed as. Oh, well, yep, there you go. You got the... You hear the pew. Again, probably canon, as it doesn't make an awful lot of noise. However, it is followed by a huge, shattering explosion at the end of the corridor.
That didn't sound like a door.
Yeah, I've already run out.
It wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
Running.
I look very proud and I say it was me.
Yeah, I couldn't stop him. I was busy rolling some amber and some leaves.
Oh, wait. Biggie, you can hear the sound effect if you watch the stream. I found one online.
Alright, let me just hit watch stream then, and that should, It's pretty good. It's a shame it wasn't super loud on my machine, but I definitely think I should hear it. But yeah. I didn't even see how that ended up messing with the cameras. It's fine though. We have a railgun going off. So at the end of the corridor now, Gershaw, very seriously now, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was expecting it. I'm not gonna lie.
Imagine that. If only you had a rough idea of where he was.
I was already dealing with shit. Already.
The
TPK at the hands of the
I want to use inspiration because I do not want to fucking risk that. Like,
I'll give you one of my inspiration.
Okay, I will gladly accept. Thank you. I don't even have to be thanking at this point. I don't know.
The situation may have been a result of my direct actions.
Maybe.
So I will. Yes, please use mine.
I saw no.
Fuck it. That's alright. 16. If remember, I get half damage even if I fail. So.
Well, that depends if it's homebrew.
Luckily, you were not in the direct path of the railgun. Although everyone hears that. And looking down the corridor, Em and Shrewd, you two are the first to see, as the smoke clears.
Oh.
This is no longer an accurate map.
There's a Tom Hardy thing. Venom, what's his name? Tom Hardy's here. What?
So let me just
Where is he going?
let me just redraw some of this now with the draw shape.
Gersh is here.
Wait, did you just kill 3 Risses?
Huh?
And Tom Hardy.
This is no longer a ventilation shaft and part of a hive. This is now an open, broken, smoking area of metal, twisted and heated, with Gershaw just on the edge of the new destruction. Gershaw, you have been chased by at least one risk that you're aware of into and through the ventilation shafts, finding yourself in this miniature hive. You are now next to 2 risk grubs, which coincidentally look very much like facehuggers from a series that we are definitely not legally related to in any way, shape or form and have no copyright over. And and you have been startled and shocked, but you are still completely fine, as in front of you, a pile of twisted, heated metal and goo and acid now lays, as the wrist layer that was lumbering towards you has just been vaporized.
Right, so, yeah, Gersh's completely fine with this apart from...
What the absolute fuck did you guys just do?
I say, that was me. It's cool, right?
Of fucking course it was.
Gersh, are you okay?
No!
I feel like that may have derailed the combat that was planned.
Oh, you haven't.
You just made it 10 times worse.
I distinctly saw 3 wrist layers just get deleted off the map.
I would not have allowed you to have or fire said railgun if I didn't think it was going to be awesome.
Wait, what does the LED LCD, what's it called, display
Well,
say now?
It now reads 001.
Okay,
Right,
so you can do that
Oh
again.
god, there is another.
I'm going to start punching.
Before you do anything, just to point out, just so it's noted for future use, Shreed, you will have taken note that the wind-up time of aiming and firing the railgun took 18 seconds.
Wow, okay.
So, to bring that is 3 rounds of combat to spool up and fire the railgun again.
Fair enough. Okay.
But it's pretty much guaranteed to take out anything you fire at it with.
Right.
You only have 1 shot remaining.
Right.
So yeah, the doors are open everywhere now, and you've just made a new door, which, depending on when we end this session, I might have to go in and just remake this corner of the map into smouldering metal.
Whilst that's all going on, can I proceed to start punching the eggs that I see now that there's no wrists around me?
You only see 1 actual intact egg. If you look at the map, you'll see that most of the eggs on this screen now exist within the white square of death, and are no longer eggs or egg-shaped or even fully formed anything at this point.
Oh, what are the one which I was standing on?
No, that's gone. That's gone. Like, you barely managed to survive being hit horribly by the railgun blast. That egg's out of here.
Right, I'm just gonna start punching everything with arms the actual self.
Sorry.
Alright. Depending on whether or not you kill everything in one go, we'll roll initiative after you've done this action. So go ahead and what are you hitting first?
I'm gonna hit the grub to my left first.
Alright, roll to hit. I'm arguing this in that you are somewhat more used to the insanity of the party than the Riss actually are, and thus are less thrown off your game by the new explosion than they are.
Yeah, my outburst was said as I was starting to wind up my punches.
Yeah.
A 12, which probably won't hit.
No, I had the wrong stat block up for the grubs. Bear with. I think at 12. 12 will hit.
12 will hit. Okay, damage-wise then. Oh, I'm pissed.
What is your minimum damage?
Minimum damage is 6.
Alright, it's dead.
Alright, next, I'm gonna hit the egg above me.
Alright, roll to hit.
16.
Oh, wait, let me double check the stat block for the eggs as opposed to the grubs. I can't remember if they're tanky or not. I feel like I made them tanky. What was that? What did you roll to hit?
16.
That will hit, yeah.
Did my minimum damage take it out?
Yes. Actually, let me roll for this one. No, actually, will do. Doesn't matter. That's 1 grub, 1 egg dead.
Last grub, I'm gonna hit my bonus action. So my unarmed strikes can also count as the arms of the astral self. So 18, which will hit, and the minimum damage, so taken out.
Alright. That one dead as well.
So everything dead.
Just gonna cover it. All dead.
And that.
And that.
Not bad.
Right. I was gonna dust myself off and start marching over towards where I assume that blast came from.
In the moments before the railgun, Gershaw, as you sort of moved through the vent and were running away from this risk, trying to find a good spot to counterattack it. You moved very quickly through this area as fast as you could. You've been around in a circle a few times. You burst through the covered over, like, organic door of this chamber and through the ventilation system a few times now. You're not sure if you saw one wrist or multiple wrists. You're not sure if it was the same one or if they've been sort of tagging in and out. You can't really say for certain how many are in this area that have been close to you. One thing that stands out in your mind, and I was thinking about maybe just messaging this to you, but it's funny for, not funny, but it's more interesting for everyone to know. The wrist didn't outright attack you. You think back in this moment of calm now, it had plenty of opportunities to, at the very least, attempt to reach out with its claws or with its tail and do some damage. But at every opportunity, it got close, but it's almost as if something was stopping it. Almost as if it didn't want to do any major harm to you.
Oh.
That's one dumb wrist. It could take you out many times, eh? What a dumbass. At least it's dead now. Right, trying to get back to the lot. I'm just gonna start walking through this fucking...
It is all just twisted metal and open
Yeah.
space.
And then just start marching my way down, and...
I wave my gun like as an extension of my hand at Gershaw.
Hello, Charade.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. I found this thing. It's fun. It goes.
Oh, I know. I know what it does. Do you know what I know?
How?
You nearly hit me with it.
Oh, that would be bad.
Give me the gun.
I found it.
Give me the gun.
Do you respect finders keepers?
No,
Why not?
because you kill me with it. Give me the gun.
But
Or give the gun to someone else. Just anybody else.
do you believe in dibs?
No.
I call dibs on the gun. You never actually call dibs on the gun.
Yeah, I believe in dibs now. Give it.
You can't just change your dibs. You can't just change your mind.
I did one Sharif. If it matters.
Do you believe or do you not believe?
What I believe is of no concern to you. Right now, Doctor. I'll trust your medical health up until the point that you nearly killed me with molten metal.
I very sadly like all the feathers like pointing straight down, and I hand the gun to Caporius.
No, stop looking guilty, please. Stop. Look, it makes it hard on me, please. Look, listen. When Caporius is done with it, you can play with it again. Just don't point it at me, please, for the love of Christ.
I'm gonna very sadly go over and rummage through the other chests to see if I can find anything else.
Wait, sorry, I was sending secret DMs. Has he taken the railgun off you?
Yes.
He did.
Oh, that's disappointing.
No, I made him give it to Caporius.
While everyone else is arguing, I'm gonna go back into the security office, get a load of the papers off the table, and just shove them in my bag.
Okay.
And while that's happening, I'm gonna go explore the other chest to see if I can go find more goodies. Oh.
Have we like inverted the DM arms race now? Alright, so
Right.
making your way to the other chest. You begin to rummage around the lock. It's not well secured at all. It seems as if they were trying to use these at some point before the situation became unresolvable, and it's pretty easy to access. Opening this particular crate, you do not find a similar device. You find a new one.
Ooh.
Imagine, if you will, a large metal tube.
No, no,
About
no.
halfway down this tube hangs a trigger.
This was a mistake.
I look very excitedly for another LCD display to see if there's a 002 again.
It has no LCD display on the side of this one. You can clearly see the entire tube is empty. However, laying next to this tube in the crate is a singular is a rocket. I'm not even gonna try and flavor this. You have now acquired an RPG with a singular rocket as ammunition.
Why do you keep giving the party these things? Why?
Barty, why do you keep giving the friggin' want to work for arsonist but not just fire?
Because it's so entertaining for me.
I'm gonna pull this tube out and swing it around, like pointing at the party. Say, look what I found!
No. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna.
If
I'm
you
not gonna take this one off of you. but I'm just
have
gonna,
you
push the
loaded
barrel
it,
up,
or is it just the?
No, it's completely empty. I just like pick the whole thing up, like swing it around, and like everywhere I look, I bring it like following my my line of vision.
Like I just rush over and just like. You know, you're still holding the thing, but I'm just kind of like, you know, like pushing the barrel up away from like anywhere.
And like as you push the barrel up, like my eyes go there too.
The rocket that is in the crate beside where you found the actual launcher, the entire rocket is made up of a very shiny metallic red metal. There are sort of indents along this rocket, this warhead, if you will, that look as if they are glass. You can see inside, but you can't tell what the actual material is. All you can see is that this red is broken up by white patches. There is also, in these inlays, a effervescent green glow. Yes, the rocket has the color scheme of Get a Robo. Something about this glow immediately puts you in mind of very powerful magic. The kind that is usually out of your reach.
My eyes are just like glued to this thing. Like I point the barrel back down to it so I can look.
Shreed. Could I, like, I know you're very intelligent and you're a smart doctor.
Nope. I'm none of those things. I want the rocket.
Yeah,
the shiny.
I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm not opposed to it. I just want to give you a little talk about crossbow safety.
Look, I'll only shoot it as long as there's, like, less than 2 party members in the way. Don't worry.
No, this.
Look, if there's more enemies than there are us, I will shoot.
I've seen a crossbow do a lot of damage to one person. This looks like a very big crossbow bolt and looks magical. At least because I don't understand it, alright? All I'm saying is, don't point the end of the crossbow at anybody, even if it's not loaded.
Yeah, and like I turn to point it towards Gershaw so I can look at him directly in the eye, and like, yes, I would, of course, that sounds very reasonable. And then I go and turn the barrel back to look at the rocket.
Please don't look at us with the gun.
I'll let M say next, but before that, looking at the rocket, you can see inscribed along the side of it, just for funsies, actually written on the side of the rocket is the words, "Get a 1, Meteora Edition." All right.
While they're chatting, I want to get my weapon out, which is basically a heavy crossbow,
Yep.
and call Gersha while I'm wielding my weapon towards him. Gersha,
Hey?
you now have my crossbow pointed at you. You were saying about crossbows?
Don't point them at people when you're not supposed to fire them at them. That's like military 101. I got beaten a lot for that because I didn't follow it very well. That's why I'm not allowed crossbows.
Yeah, I think they taught you crap. Leave him with his weapons.
Yeah, I go swing. I go swing the barrel back over.
I think it's about time that Stolgra joins the conversation. Back in after everything, it's just like, stop pointing weapons at people.
I go swing over to Solgra and I like wave the barrel at her like I'm saying hi.
You're gonna get smacked, son.
This is where I proceed to get the axe out.
I'm like, whoa, that's dangerous. Why are you doing pointing that at people?
That's not a ranged weapon.
Huh. Funny that. I mean, technically, if you throw it hard enough, it could be a ranged weapon.
I did it, Yonk.
You did?
I'm also going to rule right now that because it was meant to be an upgrade weapon, the vicious great axe that you are wielding, what does it say in your character sheet for?
Can't be pointed towards your friends. Oh.
So, yeah, I'm going to override that 5-foot reach with a 10-foot reach.
Welcome to Range Town.
That's so good.
I promised John I would keep you alive. Or at least try. But I can't do that when you fuckers are pointing loaded weapons at each other. I
It's not loaded.
technically know that yours is not loaded.
Mine's not loaded either.
You treat every weapon as if it's loaded. Military 101 points at Gersha.
I turn it upside down, like look directly into the barrel and like.
No.
There,
Don't look into it! Jesus.
Wait, then how do you know?
Why not give me fucking strength?
You went Scottish all of a sudden. You fucking strength.
I was brought up around dwarves.
Anyway, should we?
If you guys think about it, like,
iron brew from the vending machine. Give to Solgar so maybe she can check.
You're pointing fucking weapons at each other, and you're
Wait,
expecting me to be chilled out.
Gershaw, can you explain the situation? What happened over there? I saw some scary stuff that I very clearly saved you from.
No, you didn't. You nearly killed me.
No. But there were definitely risks there, but then there weren't.
No, you didn't. You know what you saw? You saw a metal wall. Yes, what you saw. You just saw a metal wall, shot into the metal wall, and then boom. I could then see you. There was ventilation. Right, listen. And this brings me to my other point. I was off on my own. You guys apparently were down the other fucking end of the corridor. And where am I now?
But look, clearly, look, are you safe right now?
No.
Are you safe as a result of me shooting the wall?
No.
Well, then that's just proof that I saved you, so.
The Snevin are back, everyone.
This is my favorite interaction.
Sharade, please. Please.
Look. You're safe. Look, and I like pat like the dust off his shoulder. Like there's nothing. Like using the barrel, I just like pat the dust off of him.
Like out of the sole of my shoe, I just like pick out like a giant like shard of metal that's shot into it. Like that could have been in my face. Or
yeah,
killed
look, that's
me.
that looks like a wrist tail. You know, they have those blades on.
You're not helping your point here. Anyway, listen, Sharade, please, just if you think I'm going to be on the other end of a wall, don't just shoot it with something that's going to do that. Please.
Right, but I didn't know it was gonna do that, so that's why I shot it.
Right. You heard
And
that,
if I
right?
knew, I might have maybe.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Please tell me you're hearing this. Just turn around. If you're gonna point the gun, point it down there. Point it where you just fucking shot it, please. Please.
Okay, I very quickly like grabbed the red rocket and stuffed it in my pack.
Roll a dexterity check for me, please.
Who?
Shareed.
Oh dear. What's my dexterity now? Saving throw or check?
Saving throw.
Inspiration. Although I kind of want to see what happens in that one.
No.
Do it. Do it.
No, that's not really much better.
Alright, as you place Getter 1 Meteor Edition in your pack, it starts to vibrate slightly. And the light being emitted from the slats in the side begin to glow just a little bit brighter.
Can I prep a reaction where if I see it start glowing any brighter, I'm gonna put it in the barrel and fire down the corridor again?
Yes, you can prep that reaction.
I'm just gonna keep watching this for like very still, just like
Nothing else happens
like
after,
not
after
moving
it's
a
in
muscle.
your pack. As soon as it's in your pack, yeah, it doesn't. There's no change in status then.
I like quickly move my pack from my side to my front.
Smart move.
And just make sure that nothing jostles it.
Shareed, I'm very scared. You
I'm-
seem to possess godly powers, but have no idea how to use them.
That's correct.
I respect that, but I also fear that.
I'm the one who's holding this thing on my chest.
I know you are very smart.
I'm a little bit more afraid.
I'm gonna just look around a little bit because I'm hearing too many noises. I'd like to check the ceiling. Please, for the love of God.
There is nothing on the ceiling.
For the love of Red Eye, I mean. Do I believe in Red Eye? No, I don't. Fuck Red Eye.
Threat level.
Lethal?
Omega.
Sorry, Red Eye.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Should we
Hands
find a
look
better
down the
place than
corridor.
this?
So if you just want to just turn it up for a second,
Sure.
for one line.
I wish you hadn't done that.
That is Codex's response to the entire railgun situation.
That was too funny though.
Me too, Codex.
having
Me
a
too.
laugh.
Bucky, however, each and every one of you hasn't heard him say anything, but you're getting a sense of wry amusement from Bucky. as this
I'm just
goes down.
imagining Jarvis like, oh, excellent shot, Master Shareed.
It's like the AI equivalent of just the. It's like it'd be unprofessional to laugh, but also that's fucking hilarious.
Right, can we stop?
Bucky has been learning from you, for better or worse.
Can we stop trying to kill each other and like go and kill some Riss?
Yeah.
Well, I think something's on its way right now. And behind corridor number, whatever we're in. Where?
I
What's
think
the corridor?
that's an conglomerate now. That's like corridors 1, 2, and 3.
Thanks for the correction. Right, I'm just gonna stare at the end of the corridor, and if anything like shifts, moves, like dust, anything, I don't care what it is. If I see any movement, ceiling, otherwise, I will know about it.
You see nothing.
My alarm hasn't gone up at all, has it?
No.
It's still active.
I'm gonna use Visage of the Astral Self.
Okay.
and keep a real close eye on it. And as I sort the arms out, I can now summon Body the Astral Self for the time being. Does anyone want to do anything?
Should
I'm scared to do something.
explore? This seems like a bad place to fight. I mean, well, it's a good place for me to test out what this thing does, but
Let's explore. Let's go and go. Let's go and go, guys.
Alright, let's go.
Conga. I
Come
wanna
on.
say goodbye to Validus before we go. Say bye, Validus.
And he responds
Stay
with,
safe.
with
Um,
farewell.
Guys, before we head on, I do have a bit of information. I was being chased by a wrist.
I knew it. I saved you.
No, I was trying to find a place to counterattack it safely, you know, like.
I got you covered long range. That's why we're a team.
Friends.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that if I'd have been in the wrong, like literally, like 5 feet to my left, there wouldn't be a me you're talking to. That would have
He's
been.
gonna like just like you slowly reach a finger of like shh, but it worked out. It's fine.
The wrist had plenty of chance to kill me, like at least attack me once. Plenty. And it didn't seem to. So what I'm thinking is we're dealing with very dumb wrists. They're very dumb.
I'm gonna look at Glorious.
That makes sense.
So, basically what I'm saying is that we can get away with quite a lot with these risks. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm gonna look at Caporius again.
I'm restless.
I'm muted.
Around the corner.
Apologies.
I'm peeking around the corner. I'm not stepping through just yet. I'm peeking round. Just having a look. Anything new?
No, for some reason the door at the end of this corridor remains closed.
Okay, step out. And I look into the abyss that is the molten metals everywhere.
The ventilation system isn't quite as adept as it could be at clearing the smoke. And it's a bit difficult to see through further than what's already been revealed.
Visage, I think, will allow me to see through.
I smoke. Can I roll with advantage if I went to check for stuff?
How far can you see with Visage?
120 feet.
And is that halved by...
You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical. That's what it says. So it might be, it might not be able to see through it. I guess I'll leave it up to your ruling.
Ah, well, it's not darkness. It's literally smoke.
Okay.
You think? Actually, roll a perception check for me, since you're all stood there.
All of us.
Just Gershaw with his visage active.
19.
19. You can't quite tell, but you think you may see figures moving through the smoke.
Guys, I believe we have company right ahead of us. Would you like to take formation, everybody?
Conga.
Yes, I'm in the back.
Conga.
Wait, are we conjuring or are we doing?
I have no idea.
Where are we going? Left or front?
We're going. I guess we're going up, but I guess we gotta go through the smoke because the door's shut on the other end. I don't think we can go through. Guys,
Conga?
well, that's
Conga.
information I meant.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, excuse me.
Straight.
Oh, what?
this whole thing.
And a pointless to conga in a big open room, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Room
we
is
kinda
being
need to keep
kind.
track of each other, being as it's more smoky.
That's what I'm saying, to stay close, but
We're Kongi. Wait, I need to move the roll 20. Okay. Now I can see. No! Why'd you move back? Wait, there's a chest here, isn't it?
Alright, bear with me just a second.
There's a chest right.
Don't any of these have the sound? There we go. It's not very heavy. I can't find that original, like, heavy bashing noise that I had before. It seems to have vanished. Oh well. I'll just describe it to you. So as you walk your way through this smoldering... Oh, you guys move way faster while I wasn't looking at the map trying to find that sound.
Oops, sorry.
The,
Everyone back.
the
Reverse conga.
door at the end of the corridor that had been closed. As you're walking through this smoldering section, you hear heavy, thunderous pounds against the metal until eventually it wrenches and gives way. As the smoke in this area clears a little more, you are able to see figures through the smoke. As from 3 different directions, it appears as you were walking down the corridor, or making the decision to even move down the corridor, some wrist slayers have made their way towards you to investigate. And this is where we're going to end this week's session, and we're going to open next week with rolling for initiative.
Fun.
all right.
Kill me.
This is a lot of
Sorry,
fun.
what was that, Kappa?
Don't.
I said I'm hungry.
I think there is hungry too.
Anyway, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ebon Death. We will find out next week how this goes down and who survives. So that's been it for episode 41. Honestly, I didn't expect that we were going to have both a railgun and an RPG included in this session, but I think that that was just, you know, God working through me to provide a far more interesting session.
That was so funny.
Like, oh man.
But yeah, of course, we have been joined as always by Caporius, as played by Third Fret Capo, who is slowly becoming the tech genius of the group somehow. Don't worry, dude, we'll get you that ergonomic chair one day.
I'm going back for it. We're not leaving this place without the chair over my dead body. Just kidding. I'm hungry.
And of course, we are joined by M, as played by Violin Solo, who I'm sure will hopefully get their hands at some point on a equivalent heavy weapon to mess around with.
I said to try mine.
Oh,
So-
yours is going to be fun. Next week, we get to see what the
I can't wait.
what the custom like shotgun does.
I can't wait.
And of course, we are joined by Fanny Boss, as played by Russell_the Dude, who got to the standout moment of the session was what, cutting a chair off of its
And then thrown.
placement. Yeah. Sorry, you get to stab things next week. Yes.
And sideways stabs.
Some horizontal stabs, some vertical stabs, just all the backflips. Who knows?
Upside
Maybe
down.
maybe the backflip magic will become even more powerful next week.
Who knows?
Who knows? And of course, we're joined by Solgra, as played by Schleifidi. The voice of reason apparently not required this week.
Trying to keep this family together.
Thanks,
Railgun,
Mom, we
greater than sign
appreciate
family.
you.
And having his own mini adventure this week, we are joined by Gershaw, otherwise known as Guitar of Sia, who I'm sure you can all imagine the nightmares he went through in those moments of pitch black darkness. Whatever you're all imagining, that's canon.
The Badgers.
Badger.
Your own story.
So many badges. And last but not least, we are joined by Shareed, played by Cactus
Did
Roo,
nothing wrong. Did actually nothing wrong this week. Did actually nothing wrong.
who, in a bout of temporary insanity, I have given a railgun.
Did nothing wrong.
Did nothing wrong.
Did
Killed 3
nothing.
risks and saved my friends. Did nothing
You see,
wrong.
I was imagining that Shareed would find a heavy weapon because he's the one that keeps checking all the crates all the goddamn time, so I felt like I had to give him something. I was like, yeah, he can save this for like a final boss situation, you know, like what we all do in video games where you don't use the big gun straight away. You're like, I'll save this for the boss. The second he said, should I point it down the corridor and fire? I was like, that's it, we've got our moment of the episode here. Do it.
I mean, that's what I'm a conserver of resources. If you give me 2, I'll use 1.
That's why I said 2 as well. I was like, yeah, let's use this for something. I mean, your options were either going to be go find Gershaw, get yourself into like a mini fight in a mini hive, and find out, oh, there's a hive in one of these chambers, or Shareed explodes half of the Cold Forge with a railgun. Honestly, all the emotional moments I had like planned for that. Nah, shooting it was way more fun. We've got more content on this floor. I imagine we'll be done with this floor maybe next week, maybe the week after, and then we're pretty much wrapping up the Cold Forge. So we're getting towards
Holy
boss
moly.
times. Yeah, we're getting there. We are not far off the end. So hopefully the levity of having a railgun moment alongside our 2-week break and final return. Next week we're in for the real heavy stuff. Everyone in the party doesn't really know it, but they've all been given minor hints as towards what's going to happen next week. None of them
We
are.
finally meet the real Gershaw.
I would love to know. Like, I have no fucking idea what's happening. It's just like, hear my name and I'm
You
just
all,
like,
you all have the smallest amount of information, and if you pretend this is Captain Planet with your powers combined, you'll figure out where the storyline's going. Or you'll make up your own much better storyline and I'll pretend that was the story the entire time.
Also,
Gershaw was Validus. Validus was Gershaw all along.
No. Or is it? I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe that's worth exploring.
I was gonna say, I'd actually love to hear like what people like would imagine would happen in that dark section when I was gone for a bit. If anyone like has any
I don't
ideas.
think you want to know what.
Well, maybe, I don't want to know, but maybe just like type it in on like the tab
Gershaw
chat.
will never be the same again.
It starts with
my-
F and ends with Rom.
Starts
Which
with
is a new
N.
word.
It starts with Nunu and ends with 45 badgers.
I
Submit
have
your
no idea.
theories for what happened to Gershaw in his mini adventure. Anyone in chat, go submit it on the Discord. And my favourite one will become canon.
I want to see that.
So much
I will-
power.
I'm so
And
scared.
we will do a dramatic reading of it at the start of next week's session. Yeah, I like the idea. That's what we're gonna do. So submit your ideas for what happened to Gershaw, and we'll read them out next week.
Also fan art.
And fan art,
Yes.
yeah. Give us your fan art. Always.
Oh, I'm already
appreciate
on
that.
it, dude.
Anyway, that is all we have time for. It is already getting pretty late, so we're gonna wrap this up and go do a raid once I figure out who we're raiding. But from all of us here, that'll do it for this week, and we'll see you next week. Same time as this week. I think that worked well, right? So about 8:30? Yeah.
Yeah.
About half an hour later than we usually have done, so that's a new time slot, and we'll end a little bit earlier. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And fairy dust where we lay our scene, our hero He's neither vegan nor vegetarian. The people call him the phallic barbarian. And while his great powers cannot be ignored, well, they're not contingent on his ability to, brandish his sword. And so he embarks on the most thrilling quest to solve quite a big problem, it must be confessed. But that's not all as it seems. In fact, it's beyond his wildest dreams. He expects to be met with a cure for his dick, but lo and behold, he finds out it's a trick. In the mountains, our hero is far from lonely. In fact, he's crossed paths with the one and only Love Guru. The Love Guru possesses a mystical power to have our hero fighting fit within the hour.
There's probably a joke with a penis right there.
And so our hero continues on his way, returns to his homeland merry and gay. He returns to his parents after they've been away, and they confess they thought that they'd never see the day where their son, who has certainly has been around, finally finds love and settles down. The news of their union resounds through the town. Here's him in his suit and her in her gown. In fairy dust where we lay our scene, our hero is married his dragon-esque queen, and the whole world is certain now and when we're glad our barbarian is phallic again. In fairy dust where we lay our scene, our hero lusts after a dragon-esque queen. He's neither vegan nor vegetarian. The people call him the phallic barbarian. And while his great powers cannot be ignored, well, they're not contingent on his ability to, brandish his sword. And so he embarks on the most thrilling quest to solve quite a big problem, it must be confessed. But that's not all as it seems. In fact, it's beyond his wildest dreams. He expects to be met with a cure for his dick, but lo and behold, he finds out it's a trick. In the mountains, our hero is far from lonely. In fact, he's crossed paths
there.
And so are